Just let them speak.
You can demonstrate. You can prove it. When you manipulate heat, water boils.
Science can't prove things. Science cannot prove anything. How would it ever do that? Think about it. If no matter what you try and prove, and these guys, I heard them say the other day, oh, science proof is that the water boils at 100 degrees. That's not proof of anything. I wanted to go to Wits it, gets it.
You can demonstrate. You can prove it. When you manipulate heat, water boils.
Science proof is that the water boils at 100 degrees. That's not proof of anything. Wits it, gets it.
You can demonstrate. You can prove it. When you manipulate heat, water boils.
Science can't prove things. Now listen carefully.
I think you can find a scientifically valid method that can validate the ether, but it doesn't exist. I think you can find a scientifically valid method that can validate the ether, but it doesn't exist.
What the hell did you just say?
I think you can find a scientifically valid method that can validate the ether, but it doesn't exist.
Oh,
I think you can find a scientifically valid method that can validate the ether, but it doesn't exist.
Are you serious?
Now listen carefully.
What science has known for, hundreds of years, and that is the existence of the ether.
Science cannot prove anything. How would it ever do that?
Experiments prove that the ether is actually there.
Science cannot prove anything. How would it ever do that?
Experiments prove that the ether is actually there.
That's how you know you're being scammed.
Prove that the ether.
You know science doesn't prove anything, right?
On the subject of apologies, there's only one apology, and that's to Nathan for calling him a scammer. The rest, it is fair game. Even calling me a flat earth homo, it's fair enough. I've been called worse. You know what I mean? I'm not bothered about it. The only apology due is that, because that's the thing that's out of order. It's dishonest, and he knows it.
He won't be able to do it. You can't retract that now. You hear that, jabroni? That's your pride fucking with you, you Dunning-Kruger muppet. How's that hypothesis working out for you? You don't even know what one is, do you? Yeah, we heard it. Tacitly, you're fucking clueless. Thanks. Hey guys, how's it going out there? Hey, thanks for showing up. I realize this is impromptu, but I didn't think there'd be anybody here. In fact, there wasn't anyone here for like 5 minutes. It was zero. I said, just talk to myself. As usual, if you'd like to support this channel, there's PayPal and Patreon links in the info box below. I'm all buy me onesie. In fact, I think this is the first time that I've been buy me onesie on my channel. Besides for the debates and those things that I've recorded. But I think this is the first time. How you guys doing out there? I'll tell you one thing. I won't get over-talked. Yeah. Hey, so give me a radio chat. Hey, you guys hearing me well out there? Like I said, I have no one here to bounce that off of. What's so damn funny? Are you hearing me or are you not hearing me? You've been asking for this. Well, you got it then. Nose breathers. I'm loud and clear. Thanks, Snowbirds. I appreciate that. Listen, guys, you know, I've been emotionally unavailable for the past few weeks. So I've had my attentions focused elsewhere. Now I'm slowly shifting my gaze back. And I figured, what the heck? I'm in a pizza coma. Pizza/football coma. So I might as well go live. Nothing better to do. Yeah, what's up, guys? I'm glad you can make it. So what we're going to do here is we're going to go through a performance evaluation of Jeran. He did a little video a couple weeks back, and I popped in on Nathan's show, and he just played a couple small pieces of it, which I thought was pretty funny. And like I said, I had too many things to do, but I made a mental note. I said, yeah, I'm going to save that because I like that Google headline scroll, right, that he did. But I finally went ahead and listened to the whole thing late yesterday. Now, I haven't prepared anything. Nothing's pre-prepared in advance. What we're going to do is we're going to go through everything that he said. Hyper specifically, we're going to stop. I'm going to evaluate and stop it each time I feel that there's an impropriety or a violation of second grade coherence. Are y'all with me? Give me a thumbs up out there. This will be one of the last times I look at chat, by the way. So you guys better behave yourselves. You guys tracking with me out there? Give me an amen. No tomfoolery, no shenanigans out there while we're going through this. Not going to be able to play along. Like I said, I'm not going to be able to look out there. So sit back, enjoy, get a piece of paper and a pencil out and say, oh, QE, you missed one. I don't have a problem with that. And send it, put it in a comment underneath the video, and then we'll start over again next week. How about that? All right, let's see what we got here. I think we're just about ready to roll. Oh, I got an amen. I got 2, 3 amens. All right, everyone ready? Everyone understand how this is going to go? I'm going to play this video. I think most of you guys have probably already seen it or heard it. And like I said, I'm going to stop. In fact, I'm going to write down every single impropriety, and then we'll conclude at the end, whenever that may be. Fair? Can I get another amen? Absolutely amen. You're ready. That's not what I wanted. Hold on a second, folks. I think that's what I wanted. I'm going to have to get in touch with my secretary. My staff is not holding up their side of the bargain. I think I got it now, folks. Let's see if this happens. Yikes! All right, I think we're ready. Here we go.
So let's get back to over here. There we go. And this one. So we're going to be talking about, let me cover one other thing first.
So we're going to be talking about, and then we're going to cover one other thing first. Ladies and gentlemen, that's a sentence fragment. Yes, I am going to mark down sentence fragments because I'm being hyper specific. So it's fair on the evaluation. That is sentence fragment number 1.
Then we'll get back to that. So I can't find where they talked about it. Somebody told me, oh, did you hear Nathan Oakley? They were making fun of you on Flat Earth debates. And again, I don't have time to listen to other Flat Earthers who don't understand what they're talking about. Try and laugh.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. That don't understand what they're talking about. I didn't hear any support there. maybe in the next couple minutes there will be some support, but you just can't make statements, baseless assertions, and then just move on. That is not allowed. That is called a baseless assertion fallacy. 1 second. Good. Here we go.
Laugh at me or poke fingers at me. Because again, if they
Poke fingers at you? What the hell does that even mean? How can they poke fingers at you? Can you see those guys poking fingers at you? Or is that just a figure of speech? I'll let that go.
if they have a point, here's the thing about, how do I explain this? Here's how you know you're being scammed. And let's think back to what's happened over the last, 2 years. And when you're being scammed is when somebody tells you a lie, and then
Wait a second. You're now going to tell your subscribers what a scam is? Do you think they're stupid or something? What's next? Like, you going to explain a peanut butter and jelly sandwich? I find it strange that you would educate your subscribers on that. Your subscribers should take note. Just saying.
either point out that it's a lie or it's clearly a lie, but they keep saying the same lie over and over again, right? That's how you know you're being scammed. So back when Nathan Oakley kept saying things like science proves this, science proves, I took him and said, Nathan, you know,
You were like, you took him. Took him where? What do you mean you took him? You're like his science superior, and you took him off to the side, patted him on the back, rubbed his little head, and said, listen, this is what science actually is? Are you kidding me? You couldn't counsel little Miss Muffet on her curds and whey. You didn't do that. What in the world, sir? You're going to see how he didn't do that and how he couldn't do that over the next how many minutes that we're here. So that's a joke. My word.
no, science doesn't prove anything, right? He's like, yes, it does. Science proves everything. Like,
Science proves everything. You're saying that Nathan said that? I'm going to guarantee you right now that those words never came out of his mouth, either in text or spoken word. Never. Because I spent a considerable amount of time educating him on this topic. And that was one big one that we went over and over and over and over again, and I explained it in quite some detail. So I know for a fact that he never said that. So you must be lying. You're a liar. That you recall the scammer that you were just talking about? The one that consistently lied? Say hello. That's you. You just lied. So 1 second. Now, if you want to prove me wrong, then the next time you go live, we want to see that in quotes with his name beside it, or on audio where he said that. Now you can leave out the stuff. Humpty. But you're a liar, sir. I could essentially stop right here. Unbelievable. So that's one lie.
no, science can't prove anything. It's impossible.
Science can't prove anything. That is a straw man and a reification fallacy. Straw man because that's not our argument. It's not my argument. It's not Nathan's argument. And a reification fallacy because science is an inanimate concept. So it wouldn't be able to prove anything anyway. You're paraphrasing erroneously. You see, what we actually say is that scientists using the scientific method prove or disprove hypotheses. That's the claim. That's our stance. So deal with that. So straw man and reification.
Possible because you don't have all the parameters. He wanted to argue with me about it.
Wait a second. We don't have all the parameters. The parameters of what? You didn't provide any background here. You just said you don't have all the parameters. Well, what the hell does that mean? You have some citation support or some type of explanation for the parameters? These fairy tale parameters you're talking about? So this is just another baseless assertion. That's fallacious, by the way.
So they keep
they. Who are they? Yeah, we need to iron that out. That's a stereotype fallacy. Let's continue a little bit here. 1 second.
perpetrating or perpetuating.
Speak much?
This lie. So
to
me, you're being scammed.
Yeah, we're being scammed. Yeah. So that's a stereotype fallacy. Right? Invariably, every time you hear a stereotype fallacy, it's a gateway fallacy into one of two other fallacies, or both. Either a straw man or a baseless assertion fallacy is coming right behind it immediately. So that's a stereotype fallacy with the they. You can't comment on the they. Start picking out actual people that said things and used their name or names, not they.
Why? When you've pointed out, look at if we search right here. I'm just going to search. Does science prove things? Now,
does science prove things? Again, that is a straw man fallacy and a reification fallacy. I already gone over why. 1 second. I got it right here. Reification. That's a straw man and a reification fallacy. Now, what he's going to do now is one of the funniest things I've ever seen. He's going to do his wiki Google headline scroll through the pseudoscience garden. This is what he's got. I can't believe he's going to do this to justify his straw man claim, the straw man reification fallacy claim. I mean, this is preposterous. But we'll allow him to do it. Listen, I'm only using what he said and what he used. Okay, that's all I'm doing. I'm not making this up. You're seeing it live.
we would think, of course, science is going to say they prove things, right?
Science
but they don't. They don't even.
Science is going to say they prove things. Science is an inanimate concept. It boils down to a method. So that's another reification fallacy. Now, I know it's the same reification fallacy, but if you keep using it, those are separate incidents of the fallacy, so they're still fallacies. And they're getting wrote down. You follow? So that's a reification fallacy on its face. I don't even have to explain it.
Say it.
Oh, and a straw man, by the way, if you're connecting that to us. 1 second. Yep. All right.
Because anybody in their right mind is smart enough to go, nope, that doesn't make any sense. How would science prove anything?
Anyone in their right mind is smart enough. This is just this generalized hyperbole. It's nonsense. I mean, what does this have to do with intelligence? Someone would have to teach you this, right? Do you understand the difference between intelligence and education? There's a difference. So it's non sequitur is what it is. I'm not going to give you that non sequitur. I should give it to you. I'm not, because we got to move on. We'll be here all night. This is hilarious right here. Look at the first one out of the gate. Forbes. What are you doing, man? Right? They're not even pseudoscience. They're not anywhere near in the vicinity. I thought they were finance. Do they got like a science arm or something? I don't know. I never ran into it in any of my textbooks. Is this a joke? Is that why is this a comedy? My word, sir.
Anything, because in order to prove something, you have to have all possible scenarios included.
Here we go
So I don't
again.
care
We have to have all possible scenarios included. That's a baseless assertion, fallacy. You haven't supported this. You've just merely stated it by fiat, right? Where do you get this from? Is it you just conjuring this? Support what you say, sir. I've never heard anything like this. What do you mean parameters? Maybe he'll get into it. I can't remember if he gets into it later. I doubt it, because he doesn't support anything that he says. But you know, we'll leave on. We'll hang on hope that he does. But this parameters and scenarios and stuff, I don't know where he gets it from.
what test you do. Number one, who gives the results of scientific experiments and tests?
Let me take a guess on that one. Scientists, perhaps?
Is it human beings or is it God? Pretty sure it's human.
What? Is it human beings or is it God? Are you off the reservation, sir? Now that's non sequitur. I'm going to have to write that one down. That's patently non sequitur fallacy. What in the world are you talking about?
Beings. Do human beings have biases?
Yes.
Are they confused sometimes?
Yes. What does this have to do with anything? When we're talking about science, we mean natural science. To be natural science, you must go through the scientific method. It's a method. It's not a human, right? It's objective. It's empirical. The method was made to rid it from bias, consensus, opinions. That's subjective. That's what you're dealing with now. Doesn't have anything to do with that. So that's actually another non sequitur fallacy. I'm not going to give it to you. Right? My word.
Did they mistakenly think something was true when it wasn't? Did they kind of fudge?
Did who think that something was true and it wasn't? Who? Who are you talking about? These guys up here, the pseudoscientists, not Forbes. We got Psychology Today. Psychology is a pseudoscience. Forbes is in finance. What are you talking about? I don't know. Somebody's going to have to ask him. When you go live, can you get into some type of, detail on what you mean by this? Because I don't have a clue. Maybe somebody can put something down in the messages or something to let me know. This is very strange.
Some result? Of course. It's human beings. So every single science experiment that's ever been done.
Every single science experiment, you don't even know what an experiment is. I'll guarantee you he doesn't know what a scientific experiment is. Next time he goes live, somebody ask him to define it without looking it up. See if he can tell you. He doesn't know. He doesn't state it here.
Has been run through the filter of a human being.
Negative. It's been run through the filter of the scientific method, or it's not natural science. So that's non sequitur. That's getting written down. That's just stupid.
Okay, so that right there tells you science cannot prove things. But look at
that right
science
there tells you science can't prove things. So your non sequitur fallacy tells us that science can't prove things. That is another straw man and a reification fallacy.
Science proof is a myth. Okay? Except
science proof is a myth by Forbes. You know what this is, ladies and gentlemen? Every time that he cites this, it's his own. Number one. Number two, all this is, the whole thing is a feeble appeal to authority fallacy. Does everyone know what an appeal to authority fallacy is? It's appealing to an authority who's not actually a subject matter expert on the subject in question. So Jeran, is talking about science and natural science and appealing to the demonstrated pseudosciences. That's fallacy. Appeal to authority fallacy. Simple. Each case, each instance. So we can count them up. Hold on a second. I got to write this one down. Appeal to authority. That's one. Let's hear what they say.
Except for its complete lie. While they provide very strong evidence for those theories,
they aren't proof. You got a big problem here because evidence, the definition of evidence is proof. Proof is evidence. Wait, one. There we go. Merriam-Webster. Evidence, an outward sign, indication. B, something that furnishes proof. See that? From Oxford Dictionaries. Proof. Evidence. First word out the gate. Right? Look, to prove, test by experiment. Right? So your little Forbes guys in there and yourself, you don't understand simple definitions of terms that second graders know. Right? So Forbes, you need to start educating yourself. You're Jedi mind tricking the numpty public.
they aren't proof. Common misconceptions about science. Real scientists never use the word scientific
Wait a second.
proof because they
Stop. This is psychology today. Psychology is not a natural science. So that is another appeal to authority fallacy. How the hell do they know what real scientists say? They're not. So, hold on. That's the second one. Real scientists never use the word scientific proofs because they know no such thing exists. Really? How do they know that? Did you ask them? Cite them. You need to cite those real scientists that they're talking about because you just made this your own.
They know no such thing exists. But Nathan Oakley will tell you that these are all wrong. Science does prove things.
No. That's another straw man and reification fallacy. One second, folks. I got to find these things. Sorry for the delay. I'm just looking for them because I wrote them. I scribbled them down. It's hard to even read my writing. I may have issues. Who'd have thunk it?
Yeah, I'm sure. Forget what you've read.
Yeah, I'm sure. You're sure about what? Nothing on this page. So you're taking this from theconversation.com? Do they have a science department or something? Another appeal to authority fallacy. They have to say. We can read it.
Science can't prove a thing. Understanding science, how science really works. So science can accept.
So this is the University of Maine. It's an EDU reference, so I won't give you an appeal to authority fallacy here just yet.
To reject ideas based on evidence, but it doesn't prove or disprove it.
Oh, stop. They're also confused. I don't know. Up there in Maine, they got too many coons in their trash cans because they just made the same mistake Forbes did up there. Listen to this. Science can accept or rejection. Acceptance or rejection, that has subjective tones. You know, like in religion, you accept or reject things. Not in science, number one. can accept or reject ideas based on evidence, but it doesn't prove. See, they don't understand that evidence and proof are the same. So this sentence reads, listen to this, folks, actually reads, science can accept or reject ideas based on proof, but it doesn't prove or disprove them. That's what it actually says, because they're numpties. Simple.
Scientific evidence, concept of scientific proof. Scientific evidence is evidence that serves to either support or counter a scientific theory or hypothesis, but it does not provide
Well, but it does not provide proof.
Scientific.
No, wait a second. No, it didn't say that. You added that at the end. Let's listen to that again.
Scientific evidence, concept of scientific proof. Scientific evidence is evidence that serves to either support or counter a scientific theory or hypothesis, but it does not provide
But it does not provide proof. That's you're a fraud. You added that to the end of. Let's check it out. It does not say that. Evidence from your alma mater wiki. Yep, here it is. Let's pull it up. Scientific evidence is evidence that serves to either support or counter a scientific theory or hypothesis. Then you said it doesn't prove anything. That's not what this says. It says, it continues, although scientists also use evidence in other ways, such as when applying theories to practical problems, such evidence is expected to be empirical evidence. That's proof. And interpretable in accordance with the scientific method. Why does it say methods? They're numpties. It doesn't say what you said. So you added that to that definition. Right? What is that? Is there a word for that? I'm sure somebody can think it up. See, same. It's the same thing. He just added that on to the end. All right, let's move on.
proof. Scientific proof. There is no such thing as proof.
From who? There is no such thing as proof. Like just in general? I don't know. Can I prove that? You know, I have a pen in my hand right now. Can I prove that? My word.
So only Nathan Oakley knows the truth about all these.
No, not only Nathan Oakley knows. People that are actual scientists know this. That have actual natural science degrees. Not from Evo-Tard Berkeley. Back in the day, the Evo-Tards, this is the only... They hardly ever gave me any citations. But when they do give me citations, or when they gave me citations, they all came from Berkeley. For the Evo-Tards. I'm telling you, that's why I call it Evo-Tard U. Let's continue.
These things. So they want to spend time on their show making fun of me because I said science can't prove things. Science.
That's another straw man and reification fallacy. I'll tell you what, you're getting into record territory with these fallacies. By my count, I have 5, 10, 21 fallacies in less than 4 minutes. You're on a record-breaking pace. I think it was Timmy Clown back in the day, because I did this to Timmy Clown one time. I sat there and went through his whole spiel. And in 90 minutes, he had over 90 fallacies. It was a fallacy a minute. You're way ahead of the pace.
Science cannot prove anything. How would it ever do that?
How can it ever do that? Well, scientists observe natural phenomena. That's your dependent variable. And then they come up with an independent variable to complete the hypothesis, that is a supposition into natural cause and effect relationships, and then they conduct an experiment. That's how they do it. Simple.
Think about it. If no matter what you try and prove, and these guys, I heard him say the other day, oh, science proof is that the water boils at 100 degrees.
These guys Why do you keep looking up to the left? Have you noticed that, folks? Let's go back. Sorry to get off, but it kind of disturbed me. 1 second. We'll get back to the substance here in a
Can't
second.
prove things.
Watch him.
Science cannot prove anything. How would it ever do that? Think about it. No matter what you try and prove, and these guys, I heard him say the other day,
Bam, bam, bam.
science proof is that the water boils at 100 degrees.
Bam.
That's not proof.
What the hell is up here? You keep looking at what do you got, a Three Stooge marathon going on? I don't know. It's disturbing. And you said these guys, that's another stereotype fallacy. These guys didn't say that. Maybe somebody did. Not these guys. Let's roll it back. Listen to exactly what he said.
Such thing as proof. So only Nathan Oakley knows the truth about all these things. So they want to spend time on their show making fun of me because I said science can't prove things. Science cannot prove anything. How would it ever
Yeah, I already did that. Okay.
do that? Think about it. No matter what you try and prove, and these guys, I heard him say the other day, science proof is that the water boils at 100 degrees. That's not proof of anything.
Really? It's proof of water boiling at 100 degrees. You see, that's my hypothesis. I constructed that hypothesis somewhere in the vicinity of 5 to 6 years ago. It was one of 4 that I did to educate flat earthers on what hypotheses were, number 1, and number 2, to expose the dumbass baltards, right? They started stumbling over that one hypothesis too for some reason. Just like you. So let's go ahead and find it. It's up here somewhere. Scientific theories. Oh, there they are. Here. These 4. So your problem is with my hypothesis right here. Right? That's one of 4. You're going to get to this one is a belly laugher, by the way. You're going to head first face plant in the drain cement pond with that one here in a few minutes. I know that for a fact. But this is the hypothesis you're talking about. Jeran, you see this part? Heat will cause water to boil. That's actually the complete hypothesis. Now, I know this is going to confuse you. The reason why I added the 212, which is actually true, 100 degrees Celsius, to water, H2O, nothing dissolved in it. The reason why I added this is it's not complete. This is a special case because whenever you're talking about boiling points or freezing points, boiling point elevation, freezing point depression, it's always attached by the lips to temperature and pressure. You can't say this. You can say it, but it's too vague. It's incomplete. In fact, somebody could say you're wrong. Because if I say heat will cause water to boil, I mean, that statement's correct. But they could say, well, so does pressure. You don't need heat, right? Because you could change the pressure. That's why I'm saying this. I have to put the control variable in the hypothesis for this specific case. I can't think of any other hypothesis that I need to add the controls in there. Because, like I said, whenever you talk about boiling, you just have to add this. Anyone that has a junior high acumen in science knows this, right? So that Jedi mind trick, do you like a Jedi mind trick, the baltards? This is actually the hypothesis right here. Heat will cause water to boil. Why? Because a hypothesis has an independent variable and a dependent variable. All right? The dependent variable is water boiling, and the independent variable is heat, and it has the cause. Game, set, match. So you're going on about this 100 degrees, pounding away at the C4 fire every time you do, right? You're not dealing with the topic. It's actually non sequitur, but I Jedi mind tricked you with it. So I guess I'm not going to put that down as non sequitur because I put that out there, right? Maybe it's not your fault, right? But do you understand now why I did this? Probably don't. Hopefully everyone gets that out there.
Number one, what kind of water? Are you talking about
I'm talking about water. The hypothesis said water. That's what I meant, water. Nothing dissolved in the water. Not seawater, not dirty water, not river water. Water. That's what it had in there. I was pretty specific with it. So all these things that you're bringing up are straw men. Now, you did it many times. I'll just give you one. Just a straw man to cover all of them. That's starting to get long in the tooth right there, friend.
distilled water? Are you talking about ocean water? Are you talking about dirty river water? Because guess what? It's all different. Okay? So
really? So seawater is different from river water, and river water is different from dirty water, and puddle water and muddy water? Really? Profound. What's a peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
No, you can't just say water boils at 100 degrees.
But that's not, no. That's not what I said. I didn't say that. You did. That's another straw man. 1, 2, 3, 4. I didn't say that. I said heat will cause water to boil. That's the hypothesis.
That's stupid. That's not proof of it.
No, you're stupid. I just demonstrated it.
There's no proof of that. It depends on exactly.
Oh, brother.
And then you don't know all the parameters that go into things. So
what? Here we go again with all the parameters that go into things. What in the world are you talking about? Give an example. If you can't explain it, give an example. What the world what do I need to know? With heat causing water to boil. Do I need to know about Aunt Jenny's friggin' late summer tomato haul down in Tupelo, Mississippi? Right? To figure out that, heat causes water to boil? I don't know the tensile strength of friggin' I-beams of the Boeing manufacturing plant in Washington State? What? Be specific. What are you talking about?
Nothing can ever be proven by science. So if
nothing can ever be proven by science. That is a reification fallacy. Again. I won't give you a straw man with that because you didn't connect it to us. Or FED.
Somebody has been pointed out this.
Somebody has been pointed out this? Really?
Pointed this out to them numerous times.
You've pointed this out to us. I'm part of the us. You never pointed that shit out to me because that point would have been fired right back at you at light speed. So that's a stereotype foul. You didn't point this out to everyone. You couldn't, like I said, you couldn't point out the Kurds in the way to friggin', who is it, Little Miss Muffet? Yep. 1 second. Oh, that completes a 5er. Dude.
What do? They sit on their debate channel and laugh at me.
Well, they laugh at you for cause because of all the fallacies.
Know that whatever they're doing over there is perpetrating a scam.
So whatever they're doing over. So what are you divining the motivations off of your charged straw man reification fallacy? Is that what you're doing now? You're going to start divining their motives. This is getting scary.
They're scamming people somehow. I don't know if it's for money or what they're doing.
Here, now you're going to speculate with innuendo. That's it. That's an innuendo fallacy. 1 second. All right.
But they're not being honest, which means they're scamming.
How are they not being? That's another stereotype fallacy, by the way. They're not being honest. Honest about what? About your straw man reification.
So, because if they can keep perpetuating a lie, the lie is that science can prove things.
Science can prove things. That's a straw man and another reification.
No, it cannot.
Yes, it can.
It's that simple. I don't know why we.
Well, no, it cannot because it's a straw man. If there's new people in here, if I'm saying it's a straw man and a reification, I'm sorry, I can't go back to check to see who's new that arrived in chat. If you go back to listen to the beginning and I identified that straw man and reification fallacy, the one he keeps saying science can't prove things. But I digress.
Why do you have to be on that side? Well, the side is because once they.
Here's another problem. See, you listen to what he said. Sides. There are no sides. This is the same mistake that the walking contradiction Witsit 60 gave when he said, he kept on making comments about winning and losing, and you think you're victorious. It's the same damn thing. There are no sides. There is no winning and losing. You're a child. You have the mentality of a second-grade child with an inflated ego. And you got Dunning-Kruger, which is a dangerous combination. Right? There are no sides. There are no victories or wins. It's either the truth or a falsehood. Or something we don't know. How about that? So it's not a false dichotomy. It's either true, falsehoods, or something that's unexplained that we don't know. Good?
They've stated something over there. They must stick to it. They don't.
Here we go again, stereotype fallacy. Now he's going to go off on divining their motives and what they do. I don't know, dude. This is getting pretty scary. Maybe it's time to return to your true vocation. Carnival. Guessing people's weights or barking for the yak woman. Maybe you can graduate and be a pixie dust spreader on a tilter whirl. That's the road that you're heading down. You don't realize it because you're looking up and to the left too many times to the Three Stooges marathon. Get a grip.
They're not allowed to change their minds over there on Flat Earth Debate because they are militant and gross about it.
What are you talking about? That's another stereotype fallacy, by the way. Militant and what do you mean militant? I mean, I was in the military. I'm sure you don't mean that. Militant and I don't know, because you don't support what you say. 2, 3, 4. That's 5 baseless assertions. We're not 5 minutes into this, and you have 5 baseless assertion fallacies. Do you know who else has expertise in baseless assertion fallacies with every other breath? You're close to that? Village idiots. They make claim after claim after claim, but they don't support anything. I haven't heard you support one thing. Now, you did try to support this, right? But it was incoherent. Because these are pseudosciences and appeals to authority fallacies. But you did, I have to give you credit. At least you tried to support this. Anything else? Nothing. You're just making claims without support. Stop it.
So once you've yelled at people and told them to lick your balls and you're
Wait a second. I have never told anyone on FED to lick my balls. I don't think I've ever stated that in my life. So I've never done that. And so that's another stereotype fallacy. You see what happens when you stereotype. We know who he's talking about. Just say the name. My word.
an idiot and you're an embarrassment. Once you've said that, you can't go back.
No. People don't come into FED. I've been on FED for 5 years. People don't come into FED and then just names start flying. Name calling. No. That doesn't happen. That's just some superfluous horse shit you dreamed up to give to your subscribers so they won't go check it out on their own. That never happens. When we're talking, now this is the debate channel, right? So when you're talking about name calling, you're talking about ad hominems. I have never witnessed, and I know if somebody could show me or provide audio of somebody coming in and just name calling starts spurting out. No. There's always some cowbell behind it. That is, they've said something stupid, non sequitur, a fallacy, a baseless assertion first. They said planes are flying backwards or some stupid shit like that. And then those are not names that we call them. Those are conclusion of performance assessments like I'm doing to you right now. So that never happens. Let's get that straight now. You need to start paying attention to some detail. And stop with this Nancy shit. I'm starting to get pissed off. You're better than this.
Back on what you said. You can't be like, oh, you know what? Austin, we're sorry. You're right. It does make sense.
Wait a second. You want, what does Austin, the walking contradiction shits at 60 have to do with this? Right? Is this why you're giving this spiel on science doesn't prove things? Why bring Austin shits and we need to apologize to him for what? Since you brought it up, what do we need to apologize for? His contradictions. So if somebody gives you a contradiction, then you need to apologize to them for that, right? What are you? You high? My word. All right. Let's check this out. He's had more than 30 contradictions in between the first hour and a half and the second time he came in. So we need to apologize. I can't believe I'm saying this to Witsit for his contradictions. Or didn't you watch it? Sounds like you didn't watch it, or you had one of those fingers in the ears, la 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 routines, right? Check this out, Jeran. So your boy shits it. 60. He comes in. The number one proof out of the gate to show everyone why we're idiots and the ether exists. This is his argument right here. Shits at 60. We have electromagnetic waves. That's light in a vacuum. Now, listen. You see these brackets right here? Whenever you see brackets in a citation, that's the citer. Me adding some depth to what has just been said. We have electromagnetic waves. What he is talking about is light. Because just before this, the big demonstration was that light was shown from one side of a vacuum chamber and it went all the way to the other side. That was the big proof. That's what prefaced this statement. So we have electromagnetic waves, light in a vacuum. We can show and either has a medium, ether, that it's waving through, or it's waving through nothing, which is an asinine claim, right? So that was the big argument that was supposed to put the non-ether believers in their place. 10 days later, he says light is not a particle or a wave. It's a contradiction. He just contradicted his main argument. So we need to apologize for that? Really? Please explain that logic on your next show. This is just one. I got 30 of them in this presentation. Absolutely unbelievable.
That's what you're saying about the ether. They can't do that. They can't do it. So what do they have to do? They just double down and keep spitting out their same nonsense, and they can
spitting out their same nonsense. That's a baseless assertion. What nonsense? Give us an example. You don't have one. You're just making baseless assertion after baseless assertion fallacy and rapid fire. You're carpet bombing them. What are you attempting to show here? That you're a numpty dipshit? Did any of your subscribers call you on this? Or are they just brain dead and not listening, playing grab ass in chat or something? I'm doing this effortlessly. With cowbell at each turn.
You keep doing it, and you watch as their numbers dwindle and dwindle and dwindle.
Oh,
and
here
dwindle.
we go
Takes
with
time.
the numbers horse shit. This guy is infatuated. That's all I've been hearing from these guys for years about the stinking numbers. I could care less about the numbers. If I have one subscriber and they're out there, I don't know how many I have watching now. Could only be one. But I'm good with that. As long as I show him beyond any reasonable doubt that you're a baseless assertion fallacy, Dunning-Kruger numpty dipshit, I'm good with it. I'm fine with it. At least I exposed the fraud you to him. I'm good with it. But you, with your numbers. What is it with you? You and globe dumpsters, and now friggin' the walking contradiction sits at 60 with that. I've heard him say similar things about the numbers, right? You know what this reminds me of? Back in the day when I used to battle the Evo-tards, it'd just be me out there, like 20 and 30 Evo-tards at a time in forums, right? No one else would come in, right? I'd be putting them in their place. You know what they used to do? They used to have the like and dislike button, and they'd pile in and all hit the like and dislike button, mainly the dislike button. They could hit both and dislike me, and the like button for the other guys, right? And at the end, after I drug them around by their short hairs for hours, what they would do, they would go and they say they won because of the likes that they had. I shit you not. I mean, that your point, it's ridiculous. It's not, this is a non sequitur. What the numbers have anything? Do the numbers give you mandate to talk all your horse shit that you've been doing? We're not even better than, we're under 5 minutes. And incoherent second graders are blushing. So the numbers give you a mandate to toss your horse shit up here to everyone? You fucking insane? Does it give you mandate? Right? Unbelievable. It's like science, the pseudoscientists with their long initials behind their name. I love that, by the way. It's dinner time for me when I see that or they bring it up. Right? They use that as a mandate to scam others. Right? You're doing the same thing with your numbers. Of course, they have a little bit of so-called education. You're just using numbers. They have more authenticity to them. And they're complete frauds. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed for you. Seriously.
But that's what happens when you aren't honest with people. And science does not prove anything.
Science does not prove anything. That's a straw man and a reification fallacy. Again. Separate that. It's getting all clogged up here.
Never has. What did Nathan Oakley tell me one time? Oh, yeah, well, science proved that scurvy is a lack of vitamin C.
Yeah. Scurvy isn't the lack of vitamin C. Scurvy is scurvy. It has a list of symptoms like diabetes, COPD, other things. They have list of symptoms for that disease. Right? That's another one of my hypotheses. I showed you that before, didn't I? Oh, we got it. We might need to go back there. Let me just minimize that. Remember the hypotheses that I posted? I said, yeah, you were going to get, that was the other funny part. He did cite that over on Nathan's show, or played that. I was cracking up. This is pretty funny. Wait till we get to it. Did I pass it? I may have passed it. Yeah, I did. I got too much stuff. We're close. Be patient, folks. I'm going to get there. There they are. Right here. Here's the hypothesis. Like I said, I made this 5-6 years ago. If vitamin C intake is crucial to collagen integrity in humans, then eliminating vitamin C intake in humans will cause scurvy. That's what I wrote. That's the hypothesis. All right. I put in humans here because I'm going to get some smartasses out there that fumble, bumble, and stumble in the wiki and find that some organisms can synthesize their own vitamin C and they don't need to get it from outside. That's why I put it in there. But let's see what you have to say about this.
Or something. It's like, no, science didn't prove anything. First of all, scurvy isn't a thing.
So scurvy isn't a thing. Yes, it is. It's not a person. It's not a place. It's most definitely a thing. You'd fail first grade? Well, duh. Jeez.
Scurvy is a
Scurvy is a word
that we gave for the lack of vitamin C.
No, no, sir. Scurvy, like I said, is not the lack of vitamin C. The lack of vitamin C causes scurvy. You see, you got the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable. As I told you before, I don't really need to tell you. Anyone that can fog a mirror knows you just train wrecked yourself over something stupid. There's a list of symptoms that equal scurvy.
Okay, so because you gave a word to something, you can't then say science proved that the word that we
This is incoherent beyond measure.
gave something is the definition of that word that we gave it. What are you talking about?
What the hell are you talking? What the hell was that? What? We got to listen to that again. Where are we at here? 3549. Let's hear that again. Listen closely.
Something. You can't then say science proved that the word that we gave something is the definition of that word that we gave it.
No, sir. I'm not touching that. I'm just going to leave that stand where it is. You need to be institutionalized. Okay?
What are you talking about? So they learned that people were getting sick from a lack of vitamin C.
That's correct.
Okay, that's what they learned. Now, is that proof?
Yeah. Yeah, they were getting sick from the lack of vitamin C. Yeah, that's proof. Yep. You betcha. You don't think it is? What is it then? Evidence?
No, it's not proof of anything. Okay, now is it strong evidence?
Oh, yes, he did. He did it. Right? There you go. Unbelievable. Did I set you up? I don't think so. He doesn't know what evidence he's conflating. He doesn't know that they're synonyms, right? He's trying to Elmer Fudd sophist his way out of this, and he's just bashing himself in the face with a spade shovel. Like I said, I'm embarrassed for you, man.
Of course, things are strong evidence. I'm not saying by no means.
There he goes again with the up and to the left. Up to the left. Up to the left.
Am I saying that
there he goes.
With scientific tests, you can't get very strong
straight
evidence
up,
that appears in
left.
every fact?
This is scary. I want to know what's up here. Turn your camera around. I want to see what's up here on your next show. I want to see the Three Stooges marathon.
To be what you would call proof, but it doesn't prove things. So to walk around.
Oh, boy. Just keep hammering away at that C4 fire. That's another straw, man. You know what? I didn't hear that fully. I'm not going to mark it down. I'll let you go on that one.
Around and say science proved this is just it's ridiculous.
Okay, now that is a damn straw man or reification fallacy. Again, or I don't know. I got it. The reification fallacy. That's 10. I got 12 for this one, I think. 13 for that one. So right around 10 times you've train wrecked yourself there. There's probably going to be much more.
How could science prove anything? Did the
I explained that to you before. What happens is you observe a natural phenomena. That's your dependent variable. Then you make an educated guess on what your independent variable might be. That's the caused independent variable of the effect, the dependent variable. And then you add control variables and you conduct an experiment. At the end of that experiment, you're going to prove one of two things. Your alternative hypothesis, either true or false, or the null hypothesis, either true or false. That's all it does is prove. That's it. That's all it can do. I'm not going to explain that to you again. I did it twice.
experimenters know all possible scenarios and all possible...
Here we go again with all possible scenarios. I don't know what baseless assertion. Support that. You're just making that shit up. Aunt Jenny is blushing down there in Tupelo.
conditions? Of course not, right? Like there could literally be, so let's think about like so the sun burns your skin, right? But that's not from the light. That's from the light that we can't
That's not from the light. It's from the light. Let's hear that again, folks. That's a good one. That's hilarious.
possible conditions? Of course not, right? Like there could literally be, so let's think about like so the sun burns your skin, right? But that's not from the
Looking up to the left. Up and to the left. Up and to the left. Up and to the left. It's irritating me.
light. That's from the light that we can't see.
So
right?
that's not from the light. It's from the light. Essentially, that's what you're saying. I mean, not essentially. You explicitly said that. You did character. You should have said non-visible light and visible light. They're all still light, though. You're still getting burned by the light from the sun. Unbelievable, dude. I got a question. Did you pre-prepare this? Do you have a teleprompter up there? Do you have stuff written down that you actually contemplated this, or are you just making this shit up on the spot, talking out your ass? Because it's really stupid when you slow it down the way I did and listen to it. It's pretty scary.
UV rays. So imagine back in 1600, these guys were walking around and they wanted to do.
Imagine back in 1600. How can you say that? Imagine back in 16. That for what? Do we have to imagine it, or did it actually happen? I'm not too good on the imagining part. When I'm sleeping, I do. But out here in reality, we're not imagining stuff. So we need to see something from 16. On your next show, bring something in here from 1600 where somebody said that, damn, we're getting burned by this, right? And put it to an experiment. I think it happened a long time before 1600, right? Maybe back in the year 1. People running around naked in a big heat tab in the sky, burning their asses. I'm sure they asked that question back then, too. I'm sure they figured it out quite quickly, but not you. Shocking.
Do an experiment of why people were getting sunburn. And so they did a little test and they figured out that the sun is what's burning people's arms. And they said, oh, light then is what's burning people's skin, right?
Yeah, light.
Scientific proof. Well, no, they didn't know
Well, yeah. It's still light.
all of the things that were possible, meaning they didn't have no idea.
All the things that were possible, well, everything that was possible was still light. I don't know, dude. I don't know. Maybe you need to phone a friend or something.
Idea about UV light.
It's a UV light is still light. Yikes. Didn't want that.
So, and even now, even if now we say, well, UV light is the reason. Well, we don't know all possible things.
What? You don't know that UV light causes sunburn, you crayon muncher. I mean, you gotta be kidding me. I mean, back in the day, have you ever been in a tanning salon? Even back in the day when I was in the military, I don't know if they still have. The military doesn't. They've gotten rid of them. I know they have, because of the quote unquote cancer risk. But back in the day, they used to have tanning booths in the gyms, right? I went in there a couple times. You know, you go in there, you got your goggles on, and you go in there. It's so hot back there, and you friggin' fall asleep, and you come out like a red lobster. Yeah, I did that before. Yeah, that was UV light. Are you saying that UV light doesn't cause sunburn? You know what? I've just about had it. There's only so much I can take. Maybe I need to take a break for a little bit. How long we've been going? Over an hour. We're only 7 minutes in. Let's take a break, man. Let's see who's out there. Hey, what's up, guys? Hey, what's up, Hank? Man, haven't seen you in a long time. Thanks, John. I don't hate or pick sides. That's a non sequitur fallacy. There are no sides. I already explained that. Hey, what's up, Brian? Yeah, sorry, I'm doing this by me onesie. No ballbusters are allowed. I just needed to take a break, guys. Hi, hey, Lumpy Gas in the Vacuum, what's up? Jane's favorite videos, what's going on? Hey, what's up, guys? Ben P? Yeah, I need to take a break, man. What else is going on? They might have fell in boiling water, yeah. UV water. Yeah. Yeah, hey, Hank. Yeah, I haven't seen you at Coon today, man. How's it going? Well, I'll tell you what, it's a good thing I had those 4 pieces of pizza. You know, back in the day, I used to be able to eat, like, a whole pizza, you know, like 10, 12-piece pizza, you know, multiple toppings. I can't do that anymore, man. I think on some occasions I took down 2 of them. That's when I was burning calories like a madman back in the infantry. But these, if I can't eat that much, but I eat 4 like thin slices. If I eat any more than 4, look, I start feeling really bad. But I ate 4. It's a good thing I did. I ate that about. See, you knew we'd get into food. It's just a plain pepperoni pizza, man. It was really good. I'll stop on the pizza. See what else is going on out there. 10 pieces. Yeah, I can't do that, Eric. So what's happening, guys? You enjoying yourselves out? I'm going to continue here in a few minutes. I got to take a break, man. You can only take so much of that shit in a row. Good, everything still works. Yeah, well, that's only going to last a certain amount of time there, Hank. Because I'm going to tell you, second law is going to win. Tell you that. I've been fighting it for years. It's slowly whittling away. You guys want me to continue on this? Or did you have enough yet? You let me know. What brand of pizza? I did a Casey's pizza. It's a gas station here in Missouri. They have really good pizza, man. I used to do Papa John's, but they took off out of town. I like Papa John's. But Casey's it's really good. It's surprisingly good. I would put it right up there with Papa John's. Maybe even better. JK wants me to keep going. Keep on it. Yes, everyone wants me to keep going. Continue. Yeah. Yeah, when I'm ready. I'm just relaxed, man. Like I said, I'm buying me onesie. I'm used to getting interrupted like every 5 seconds. Shout out to to Betty. I'll be hearing about that. That's for sure. Yeah, I'll keep going. Hey, what's up, Theo? Subjective idealism. You have to define that. Well, I know what idealism is. Subjective idealism. Is that an actual thing? No, yeah, that's the same thing. That's not a thing. It's a person or a place. Yeah, you remember me, Hank. Yeah, I hope so. Just talk amongst yourselves. Now, have you guys been out there, because I can't look at chat, have you guys been talking about other topics other than the one I'm talking about? Who's eating crayon pizzas? We're in an intermission, folks. This is a quiet intermission. I don't have any music. If I do, they'll copyright strike me in a heartbeat. Oh. Anything else here? Crayons with paint chips from the 70s. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people eat that. No, I'm not going to sing, man. I'm not going to put you through that. Now, if I was in the shower or out in the garage, I'm telling you, it sounds really good. But here, it doesn't sound the same. It's really, really bad. I wish I could sing, man. I do. I wish I could. My wife can sing. I met her back in the day. Now, I didn't know that she could sing. Now, I met my wife in the military, and they were looking for people to sing the national anthem, for some like occasion or something. And before we were married, she volunteered. And I was like, this is interesting. And she had to give a little rendition, and she belted out the national anthem. My jaw hit the floor. That's how good she was. She could really sing, man. Yeah. Much after that. I don't know why. She should have went after that part. She could really sing. All right, do I need to get back to... Hey, what's up, Elijah? I tried to tell them there wasn't any size. They can't get it through their thick heads. We also prayed. That's a good prayer. He's going to answer that. Give me 2 minutes. Guys, I'll be right back. I'll be an absentee landlord for 2 minutes. Maybe minute 30. All right, I'm back. Did I scare you? Okay, let's get organized here. Let's get back in. I really don't want to. This is tiring. Let's see what we got. I don't think we're close to being done. That's scary. All right, let's continue.
So it's our best guess. It's the closest we can get to truth.
It's your best guess about UV rays, right? Unbelievable.
Okay, that's it. It is
That's
not.
Yeah, that's it. All right.
Landry, did you sign up for Patreon?
Landry, did you say you like some you need to get the Adderall out, right? Start central lining that monkey.
I saw that today, or I saw somebody named Landry. Anyway.
They're giving you money for this? Seriously. What, for your therapy sessions? I think Landry's going to have to contribute a lot, brother. Unbelievable.
So the idea when I hear, and this is why I laugh at Neil deGrasse Tyson. He's the only.
Why are you laughing at Neil deGrasse Tyson? He's a demonstrated pseudoscientist, right? He's an astrophysicist. How many times in the past 7 years, I used to come out with this at the beginning of each presentation. You ought to know that because they were on Cathexis's channel, right? And I'd come out. I just did it 2 weeks ago during the science presentation. I'd watch that if I were you, by the way. You know what? In fact, don't watch it. Just keep on going with what you're doing now. But I used to come out and say, listen, everyone, paleontology, anthropology, archaeology, geology, evolutionary biology, whatever that is, and yes, I'm still laughing, theoretical physics, astronomy, cosmology, and astrophysics are all demonstrable pseudosciences. Right? What they try to do, especially now, not too much, well, the evolutionary biologists do this sometimes too, and the paleontologists do. Sometimes the archaeologists, oh, just forget I just said that. They all try. What they do is, it's a case of stolen valor. What those pseudosciences do is they put an umbrella all over, or when you walk into university, let me try to say it this way. When you walk into university, right, they have the ivory walls and the arch that says science. And when you walk through there, then you're going to see paleontology, anthropology, archaeology, astrophysics, evolutionary biology, and they get Jedi mind tricked, and they all think they're actual sciences when they're not. So these numpties, pseudoscience characters, take the veracity from the actual sciences, the ones that confirm and validate their claims by experiment. Quantum mechanics, that's physics, by the way. Parts of chemistry, parts of biology, biochemistry, genetics, those are the actual sciences. Well, physics, quantum mechanics, is the mother of all sciences. Everything falls underneath that. They're like little branches underneath that. Astrophysics is not one of those branches, by the way. It comes from another idiot tree down there in the garbage dump. So what they try to do is they put that placard over everyone, and then in case of stolen valor, take the veracity from the actual sciences and put it on them, like Neil deGrasse Tyson does. That's why he says that. Yeah, actual science, is true. That's true. Yeah, but you don't have any, Neil. That's the problem. But you're confused down here, Jeran, because you don't understand that. I don't know how you don't get that. I've been teaching on this stuff for 7 years. I mean, out here in the flat Earth genre, 13 if you take it all into account. But you should already know that. I mean, you should already have graduated from that 7 years ago. I don't get it, man. Is it purposeful ignorance? Or willful ignorance at this point? I don't know. I'm not going to speculate on that. I don't divine stuff. I can only react to what you say. You're not the only one either. I listened to a hangout last night. I'm going to get off topic here. I better stop doing that. It was like listening to 2015 argument from flat earthers. I couldn't believe it. I said, am I back in 2015? Right? They're talking about the Van Halen with Sammy Hagar radiation belts. What? And the technology that NASA lost? What in the world? But I digress. Let's get back to this.
Only one who says science is true whether or not you believe in it. Guess what? If science proved things, then
if science proved things, that's a reification fallacy. Science is an inanimate concept. It doesn't do anything. Can freedom prove something?
then science would be true whether or not you believed in it. But that's the biggest joke of a statement of all time. Let's look.
But this is just a color commentary. We've already shown, I've been showing this for 7 years, that's all that natural science and the scientific method does is prove.
Look it here, where does it say, does science prove everything? Wait, I wanted to find the...
Does science prove everything? What the heck? Where are you going here?
When theory becomes a fact, who decides?
Wait, when theory becomes a fact, who decides? That's subjective. You're in the pseudoscience garden. Don't you get it? It's subjective. The scientific method is objective. You're in a category error. This is non sequitur. My God. Got it. Non sequitur. You're going to appeal to authority fallacy again, aren't you?
What is a theory? Can science prove things false? What is true? Does science prove things? There was a good article that I was going to... Oh, yeah, this one. This is a article I've read in the past, Scientific American. Hello, are you going to resolve today? Thank you.
I'm not going to give you an appeal to authority fallacy here because it has science in the name, but this is a popular science journal at this point. They just cut, the color commentaries that they give. They have some good articles in here, and it's not that you throw the whole thing out. They do have some numpties in here too. Georgie friggin' Mooser was one. Well, I think he was the editor. I don't know if he's the editor still of Scientific American, but like I said, it's a pop science journal at this point.
So this is a good little, I think it's here. So it's talking about, because July 1st, 2021 says.
What does July 1st, 2021 have to do with anything?
It says the COVID crisis has led many scientists to take up arms, or at least keyboards, to defend their enterprise.
To take up arms or keyboards? Why? Just show the experiments and it's over. If they're not showing any experiments and they're just taking up their keyboards and their arms, then they're pseudoscientists. By definition. Easy.
And to be sure, science needs defenders these days, but in...
Science needs defend... That's another reification fallacy.
Their zeal to fight back against vaccine rejection and other forms of science denial, some scientists say...
Science denial, vaccine rejection. Do we have experiments with these? Showing their efficacy? Proving it? Nope. This is all pseudoscience.
Things that just aren't true. And you can't build trust if things you're saying are not trustworthy.
See, that's what you can't build trust. The trust has nothing to do with it. It's either black or white. Yes or no. 1 or a 0, period. No subjectivity, no interpreting. You just look at the results of the experiment and that's it. If you don't have that, and it's claiming that it's science, then it's pseudoscience by definition. You're neck deep in it right now.
Trustworthy. One popular move is to insist that science is right, full stop. And
Science it's not right or wrong. Reification fallacy. In fact, this is a pathetic fallacy. It falls under reification fallacies. A pathetic fallacy is when you assign attributes, human attributes, to inanimate objects. By definition, pathetic fallacy, which is a type of reification.
once we discover the truth about the world, we are done. Anyone who denies such truths they suggest is stupid, ignorant, or fatuous. Or,
that's where you got that fatuous from. Okay, you're good.
as Nobel Prize winning physicist Steven Weinberg said, even though
Steven Weinberg. That friggin' numpty, that atheist numpty, he's not a scientist. Now what? He's gonna show us right now.
scientific theory is in a sense a social consensus.
A scientific theory is a social consensus. Oh, that's priceless. He doesn't know what a scientific theory is, and he's a Nobel, as it says, Nobel Prize winning physicist. He'd fail 5th grade general science. Just like you. He says a scientific theory. Where do I got those at? Aha! They were close. A scientific theory is a social consensus. From Chemistry About, a scientific theory summarizes a hypothesis or group of hypotheses that have been supported, that's proven with repeated testing. Didn't see any consensus in there. From Quarks to Quasars, a scientific theory consists of one or more hypotheses that have been supported, proved, again, with repeated testing, basically an echo from above. Scientific American. This is absolutely perfect. From Scientific American, what you're citing from, not that article, but scientific, you get the idea. A scientific theory is an explanation of some aspect of the natural world that has been substantiated. That is a synonym of proven through repeated experiments or testing. Isn't that funny? Where's the social consensus in here? Steve Weinberg. Clown. And let's round it up with the University of Rochester Physics Labs. A scientific theory represents a hypothesis or group of related hypotheses which has been confirmed. This means proven through repeated experimental tests. Nothing on social consensus. This guy is an idiot. Confirmed and validated. Proven. Social consensus. What a clown.
It is unlike any other sort of consensus in that it is culture-free and permanent. Well, no. Even a modest familiarity with the history of science offers many examples of matters that scientists thought they had resolved. Right, which
Thought they had resolved. Really?
is why when Neil deGrasse Tyson says whether or not you believe in science is true, it's like, no, dipshit. What about when it wasn't true in the
Let's make it clear. He's a dipshit and you're a dipshit.
past? Was it true then? Well, of course not, because we've come to a more clear
If it wasn't true then they didn't have an experiment validating it. Give us an example. I'll show you. That's the only possible way. That they just made shit up. That's what the pseudosciences do. They make baseless claims, you guys are brothers, without any support. They're like your average village idiots. But they Jedi mind trick everyone because they walked under that ivory arch that said science. Yeah, that's what happens. This is a belly laugher.
concise definition, or we've come to a more accepted definition. So
Accepted definition of what? But you're looking up and to the left again. How far are you in on the Mr. Magoo marathon? I'm sorry, Three Stooges marathon. Up and to the left. Up to the left.
you cannot say what Neil deGrasse Tyson says, nor can
He can't say it, but actual scientists can. He's not an actual scientist. It's a case of stolen valor. I already went over that.
you say what FED says.
Oh, so you're comparing what Neil deGrasse Tyson says, smoking deGrasse. He's an actual pseudoscientist to what we say. That is a false comparison fallacy. On its face.
No, science does not prove things.
Yes. Science does not prove. That's a reification fallacy and another straw man.
And why would you take that position? Doesn't even make
We wouldn't. It's fallacious.
sense. So, well, no, even a modest, here we go, only to be reconsidered. Some familiar examples are Earth is the center of the universe. Now,
Earth is the center of the universe. I want to see that experiment. Yeah. It's a category error. It's not even a cause and effect relationship, right? It's a what is question. The scientific method doesn't deal with what is questions. You don't know that, do you? Why don't you know that? That's the question.
again, we can ignore some of their dumb things. Now,
oh, we can ignore some of their dumb things. Well, no, we're not ignoring them because you're citing them. You actually cited this. This is yours now, son. Unbelievable.
because here's the thing. If they knew the truth, and we're going to get into this when we get into some debate stuff, if they knew the truth about Edwin Hubble and why he chose to go the other direction,
Edwin Hubble was an astronomer. Choosing, that is subjective. That has nothing to do with natural science and the scientific method, which is empirical and objective. You're in another category here. It's non sequitur. I'm going to write that down. These are piling up. Let me tell you.
now they've been all taught, just like we were in school, that they looked at both
They were all taught. Who are they? I'll let that one go, but I want to know who they are.
and they realized one was better evidence. No. And now this is why we do what we do. This is why you watch the show, is because we've determined based
Why we watch this show. We're watching. It's like a comedy routine. I mean, you actually think this is a serious inquiry. I mean, I haven't seen somebody destroy themselves at this level. Hell, I don't think I even had an evolutionist destroy themselves at this level. I can't recall. There might have been a couple.
based on going back and looking at what Edwin Hubble said and these guys, that they said
That what Edwin Hubble said and these guys. We don't really care much what people say. We care what they can demonstrate and show. That's the issue. Not saying, showing. I'm in Missouri right now. I wasn't born here. However, I took over their mantra. Show me.
observationally, we are the center of the universe, but
Observationally. That's a composition fallacy. Observation is part of the scientific method, but not the whole. And you have to be specific. It's not observing concrete nouns. It's observing natural phenomena. So that has a couple layers to it also. That's a composition fallacy. Second.
we must stay away from that. And so to stay away from that, we choose spatial curvature, we choose this and this, and then they went in that direction. And these idiots think that that's some sort of scientific change. Some familiar examples are Earth is the center of the universe, the absolute nature of time and space, the stability of continents, the cause of infectious diseases, which will change again.
Which will change. Yeah, of course, because this is all pseudoscience. That's why it changes.
Again, by the way, because we are going through that now. Science is a process of learning and discovery.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Science, natural science, and the scientific method is a method. It's a stepwise process. Not of learning and discovery happens at the end of it. It is the result of it. It's not the process. They and you have the wrong emphasis on the wrong syllable again. Is this, who's stating, is this Stephen Winehead? Who knows?
We learned that what we thought was right is wrong, which is great.
So what we thought, here we go. We learned that what we thought, the scientific method isn't based on what you thought. Maybe the hypothesis construction, but that's where it ends. Because now you're either going to validate or invalidate it empirically. Not what you'd think.
This is why science is awesome, not scientism.
This is why science is awesome. I want you, on your next show, I want you to define science, natural science, and the scientific method for everyone. Because this is an equivocation fallacy nightmare, by the way, and that's what it is. You're equivocating. You've been doing it. I haven't been marking it down, but you've been doing it for some time now. So, like I said, I missed a few. I'm going to give you one now. Slap one on you.
Science, okay? Science can also be understood as an institution or a better...
Science is not an institution. Science is a method. This is another reification fallacy.
...set of institutions that facilitates this work. To say that science is true or permanent is like saying that marriage is permanent.
What in the world is going on here? First of all, that's another reification fallacy. Science is true or permanent. And false comparison fallacy from the Black Lagoon. Comparing it with marriage? Not worth a response. Fiver for that one.
At best, it is a bit off-key. Marriage today is very different from what it was in the 16th or 18th century, and so are most of our laws of nature.
Whoa,
Anyway.
whoa. Laws of nature. Natural laws are not science. They are not natural science. They do not enter the scientific method. Natural laws are natural laws, and that's it. Now, I'm not saying they're not true. The actual ones, not the ones that just have law in the name. But natural laws, like the laws of thermodynamics, don't have anything whatsoever to do with the scientific method. I've been teaching on this for 7 years. No excuse.
I won't go on and on. That's Scientific American if you want to look it up.
You won't go on and on. That's what you've been doing for the past, 6 minutes? You've been going on and on. So it's kind of too late.
And clearly, I couldn't find where people were talking about. They're like, oh, Nathan went after you yesterday. I don't know where that was. I was trying to find it. Couldn't find it. But
You know what? I forgot. Well, why don't we do, since you took your your Wiki Google headline scroll through the Pseudoscience Garden, I can try that. Let's do that. Let's put the Earth is a planet. And we'll walk through this garden. Same thing you did, right? I can walk through this garden. Look at here. Earth is the fifth largest planet. So the Earth's a planet. Right? Look. Earth is the third planet from your alma mater wiki. What's going on here? I'm pulling the same routine you just did. Look, I even have more than Forbes. I got Britannica. Look at all National Geographic, Space.com. I mean, these are legitimate places, right? All of them say Earth's a planet there, Jeran. Is Earth a planet?
I did want to show, well, congratulations to Austin for his debate.
Congratulations to Austin for his debate
Against Brian's logic, which was like knocking your head against the wall.
Oh, here we go with the incoherent color commentary, baseless assertions then. So how was that? Do you have any evidence of that? I didn't hear any. I just heard a baseless assertion. I'll subtract it if in the next few minutes you state why.
because the FED guys do the same thing. They get back.
The FED guys do the same thing. That's a stereotype fallacy. Remember what I said about stereotype fallacy? It's a gateway fallacy into straw men or baseless assertions or both. Let's see what he does. They what?
Back into a corner and they just talk strangely. It's like
so they get backed in the corner. The FED guys get backed in the corner and talk strangely. What the hell is that? What does that mean? That's a, you know, that I sold you short. That's a non sequitur fallacy. Doesn't make any damn sense. Unbelievable. Wow, dude. You better hope this end. You're not going to be able to recover from this right now. You wouldn't be able to recover when you were 5 minutes in. If I go any further, it's, I mean, this is like beating a dead horse. Do we want to continue? Let me take another small break. Let's see what's happening out there. Oh, hey, from Wit, some super chat. Hey, what's up, James? Good to see you again, man. Sorry, I've been out of the net for a while. I've been emotionally unavailable. I'll get to you in a second, man. Hold on. So if someone claimed visible sunlight causes sunburn, okay? If somebody claimed visible sunlight causes sunburn, yet nobody did. Once UV rays were discovered, the original that they proved was wrong. That's true. That's a fact, but no one said that. Who said that? Is this Witsit? The walking contradiction. You give me $5. Why'd you do that? He didn't say that. He didn't say visible light. Remember, hyperspecificity. Clown. Hello to the panel. What's up? No, there's no one on the panel, James. It's just me. Buy me onesie, man. Yeah, I know it's kind of strange. It's the first time that happened. It's the first time it happened in this context. I just go with the first time. Oh, boy. Okay, sorry. Do you guys still want me to continue? I'm getting tired of marking these fallacies. It's starting to get a bit long in the tooth, if you know what I mean. But I'll continue if you want me to continue. How about that? We'll put it up for a vote. Yeah, like that's going to work. Stretch out a little bit, man. I'm getting old. Have Brian's logic continue. Yeah, I figured you'd say that. That was the point, man. Get out of my chat, you contradicting nightmare. Don't speak to me. Don't. I'll tell you what. But we better never run into each other, dude. It's all over. Quick. Clown. What's light this week? A green Manalishi with a two-pronged crown? Fucking moron. Yeah, take off. Uh-oh, he's going to plug. You're a little Nancy. You know that. You know what? I'm not going to deal with you. Let's just kick your ass out of here. Somebody kick him out. Don't come in here with your walking contradictions. Every other statement. All right? Take a hike. Got more important things to do than worry about your we already compromised you again here a little while ago. Just rewind. Boom! All right. I guess we can continue. Since Brian was the only one. Let's see. Yeah, I know the water thing. It's pretty stupid out here. All right, let's continue.
I can't even explain it. Brian's logic was all over the place, not understanding for 1 second what Austin was saying over and over again. They just keep repeating things they've heard, like from Nathan or something.
What? They? That's another stereotype fallacy. You mentioned Brian and then they. Brian is not a they. Brian is singular. They is plural. Oh. I mean, this is like shooting a pregnant hippo in a fishbowl. That's how bad this is. My word.
Something. The entire idea of gravity and whether things fall just based on relative density.
Why are we into gravity? What is going on? I thought we were talking about the straw man reification fallacy about science doesn't prove things. What's up? Where are you going? Now we've gone from apologizing to the walking contradiction, shits at 60, to gravity. This has nothing to do with what on earth. Are you just trying to pick out somebody, and go off on another tangent? Oh, I know. This gravity thing, because you guys got your asses handed to you over that a few years ago. Are you still butthurt over that? Or your little gravity nightmare? The dielectric acceleration. My word. This is so Nancy. All right, I guess we can continue. What is going... Now, I did go through this one time, but I can't remember everything that happened, so we're going to have to take this step by step. I might have to stop this lots of times.
Density. Well, we've now seen with the Van de Graaff generator that you can adjust something.
Yep.
Whether it floats or sinks.
You can, with the Van de Graaff generator, up and to the left, right? Up to the left. Three Stooges marathon. The Van de Graaff generator, you adjust something. Can you get within, I don't know, 1 degree outside of complete ambiguity? What do you mean it adjusts something? So, on the next live show, can you clarify what you mean by the Van de Graaff generator adjust something? Por favor. My word. Let me write that down in another one. So, adjust something. Also, you have to provide, what you lied about. Remember you said that Nathan said, well, science proves everything. Right? That. I think there was a couple other things I asked you to define. Oh, natural science, and the scientific method. There's other terms I want you to define too. I want you to define electrostatics, static electricity, electromagnetism, and magnetism. I want those defined. I want citation. I don't want you making shit up. For all those terms, for your I don't even know why your subscribers are not hammering on your door asking you to do this. Define what the hell you're talking about. Do it on the next live show.
It's based on its electrical potential.
Electrical potential. Do you know what potential means? I don't think you know. Define that too. And it just blows your doofus argument right here up. So, and add potential to the list of things you're going to define.
And so, therefore, it makes sense to me that, the electricity could set the down direction. Everything else is...
What in the world is that? Electricity can set a vector? Really? Baseless assertion fallacy. This is painful. What's your evidence of that? Define electricity. Was that in one of the terms that I gave you before? If it wasn't, add that to it. This is insane. It is. Until you prove it. I'm calling you out. Electricity defines the down direction? Really? Is down an actual direction? That's a good question, isn't it? Be careful. Is down an actual direction? Can you have down without up? Can you have left without right? Can you have forward without backwards? Or any of those vice versa? That's a good question. That's a little bit ancillary to the point, but you said it, so answer that question. Also, have one of your slobber nurses get their list out and start writing these down. You need to answer them.
Is handled by density and buoyancy.
What do you mean handled by? This is very strange.
So it's not even really worth talking about the electrical part because that just...
It's not even really worth... Yeah, I bet it is. I bet it's not worth talking about because you don't know what the hell you're talking about. That's why it's not worth talking about. But didn't you say that we don't pay attention to those things that you talk about? Well, how can we pay attention to the things that you're not talking about? It's just like you're like your brother. The walking contradiction, shit's at 60. Yeah. Unbelievable.
just sets a down direction. That's it.
Yeah, you keep on saying it. Sets the down direction. That's it. That's another baseless assertion fallacy. Pretty stupid one at that. Electricity sets the down. Is it electricity that sets the down direction, or the Van der Graaf generator that sets the down direction? Who gives a shit? It's a Van der Graaf generator. It ain't gonna be setting any down direction anyway. You ain't gonna be able to prove that, right? And I don't know. I haven't walked outside and tripped over any Van der Graaf generators recently, right?
Everything else is handled through density. But here's the problem. Is those guys keep going back and they're like, oh, well.
That's another stereotype fallacy. Here comes a baseless assertion or a straw man. Guaranteed.
Why don't you make my phone rise in the generator?
Why don't you make my phone rise? Well, you said it sets the down direction, so that should be easy, right? In fact, the more dense something is, the more pronounced the effect would be. Do you even know what you don't have any idea with what you're saying. None. There's continuity error after continuity error. All of them contradictions. This is all nonsense, folks. From a Dunning-Kruger idiot.
Van der Graaf generator. It's like, what are you talking about? A phone is a hugely dense item.
Yeah, that's right.
Nobody's saying that.
Yeah, you are saying. Implicitly, you are saying when you're saying that it sets the down direction. I'm assuming it's the Van der Graaf generator with electricity, right? It's plugged in it's a generator. It's either plugged in or burning fucking coal or gas, right? Electric current, electricity, right? It's not setting any damn direction. Stupid.
That you can make things levitate that are heavy.
You can make things levitate that are heavy.
We're talking about little things like you put a piece of paper on the ground, then you turn on the generator, it creates electricity, and then the thing
it creates
floats.
what? It creates what? An electrify? What was that you said? It creates an electrify? 1 second. Where are we at? I didn't catch that.
Things levitate that are heavy. That we're talking about little things like you put a piece of paper on the ground, then you turn on the generator, it creates electricity, and then the thing
electrify. What in the world is it creates electricity? Can you please define electrophy for us? I'm going to remember that one, electrophy. Unbelievable.
Floats. Well, that's a tiny piece of paper. But
Yeah.
what you did by making it float is you adjusted it, and so at least we can say
You adjusted it? Yeah, I think I already marked that down. You have, yeah, I did. You're, what? How did it adjust? First state what it is, and then what adjusted, and then what made it adjust. If you would, please. That's another. It's just generalized, vague. Like I said, can you get at least 1 foot outside of complete ambiguity?
not proof that it could set the down direction. So why would
So that's not proof that it can set the down direction. Contradiction.
flat earth debate be so against that idea? Why not just admit
Why would flat earth debate be against that idea? That's another stereotype fallacy. Why would flat earth debate be against? Flat earth debate is inanimate. Right now it has a bunch of people in it, but it's not a singular person. So, like I said, that's a friggin' stereotype fallacy. It's also reification. Why would we be against what?
yeah, the generator does do that. So therefore, you're probably right. It probably does set the downward direction.
The generator does do that, and it does set the downward direction. What? Set the downward direction of what? The little piece of paper? How is it setting the down direction? Because it levitates a little piece of paper? This is nonsense. What does it do? What if I take the little piece of paper outside? On a windless day, really calm, and put a piece of paper down. Do little pieces of paper levitate everywhere? What are you, going into a coma? My God. This is all non sequitur. All of it. There's no point.
And density and buoyancy weigh the rest out. No, they want to argue with it as if, well, what does that mean? That the electrical goes away?
The electrical, they want to argue. That's another stereotype fallacy. They ain't arguing with it. Let's go back. You said something else. I missed it.
Down direction. So why would flat earth debate be so against that idea? Why not just admit, yeah, the generator does do that. So therefore, you're probably right. It probably does set the downward direction, and density and buoyancy weigh the rest out. No, they want to argue with it as if, well, what does that mean? That the electrical goes away?
Electrical. Did you say electrical? I want you to define electrical. Electropa. My word.
Electromagnetism just disappears?
Electromagnetism. I want you. Where's the electromagnetism at? I want you to define electromagnetism. And make sure you define in all these terms before you start to get into your baseless claims. Because as soon as you define these things, it's over. You don't know what they are, you're going to have to look them up. But as soon as you cite them, your entire position, Globe Dumpsters Bob, yours, and that friggin' walking contradiction shits at 60, and all your positions implode all at once. The Hindenburg will blush. That's how easy this is. This is joke. You don't think that's true? Watch. I'm just asking a reasonable request. This is my reasonable request. I want one of these numpty dipshits to define. Let's keep it short because they probably can't keep focus. Electricity, electromagnetism, electrostatics, and magnetism. They don't know what they are, folks, number one. And as soon as they do, like I said, all their arguments implode. We already know that that shits at 60 doesn't know what magnetism is or electromagnetism. We already know that. How do we know that? I'll show you. Let me show you something. I'll show you right now. Do. Is that towards the end? I don't know where it is. Smoke them if you got them. Here it is, folks. Let me knock this out. Here it is right here. For some reason, he all non sequitur like responded to somebody's request to post a scientific hypothesis. So somebody asked him out there, I don't know who it was. They said, what's the dependent variable? And all I heard was magnetism is the dependent variable and the electric current is the independent variable. Thanks for that. Right? Why don't you just get an M80, shove it up your ass, and sit down on a bonfire? That's what you just did. Magnetism exists without electric current causing it. Now, he should have said electromagnetism is the dependent variable and electric current is the independent variable. This statement, this word is wrong. This is a train wreck. He doesn't know what it is. You know, if he doesn't know what it is, you damn sure know that Jabroni here doesn't know. And Globe Dumpsters Bob doesn't know. Right? There it is right there in spades. He did it a number of times. I put it in here a couple times. It's probably down beneath. He train wrecked himself. This is a joke. This is clown show.
No, it's still there. So what are you going to do with it? Well, we don't even talk about it because we just stick to our same talking point.
We don't even talk about it. Well, if you would talk, remember you told us that it's not worth talking about? So you want us to talk about something that isn't worth talking about? You see how that doesn't follow? My God. This is pathetic. It's one train wreck contradiction after another. Define continuity errors. I'm starting to get irritated, guys. Do you want me to continue? Oh, you know what? I forgot to slip you on over here. It doesn't matter. You heard what he said anyway. So let me get back to let me go ahead and go back here because I'm going to take another break. This is killing me. I don't care what you have to say, walking contradiction. Stop posting money in here. I'm not reading your trash. Go figure out what a contradiction is and learn how not to do it again. That's number one. And go define no one. Make sure you get the fundamentals down first. Yeah, haha, no, everyone watch this. You're a fucking clown. But go ahead, continue to give me money. Use the word magnetic to define magnetism. Oh, God. You are a fucking moron. Yeah, I'm really scared. I'm shaking. I'm quivering in my boots. I've been shaking uncontrollably for about 5 weeks now. My word. All right, guys, do you think I should continue with this? You know, we got the clown show extremists. Thought we got rid of you with the Discord. Bye-bye. Oh, Brian said continue. We'll just take a small break. Man, we've been going. This has been 2 hours. Damn. Hey, what's up, Jose? How's it going, brother? Won't be seeing you on Discord anytime soon. Watch yourself out there, Jose. They'll probably be coming after you, I'm sure. Yeah, but you already dealt with that. Probably not by Discord proper, though. So just be careful. I don't think I'll go back again. Oh, you did? Oh, man. Oh, because you were probably in Betty's. Oh, I'm sorry about that, man. Yeah, I know you're like a hemorrhoid extremist. Yeah, in the same time frame. Yeah, I know, Jose. Was that in response to Betty's going down? Yeah, you were a mod there. Yep. Sorry about that, dude. Yeah, I think they got everyone. Everyone that was a mod or had higher higher titles than mods, they got, yeah, they just took them all out. Yep. Sorry about that. Are you in Skype? And I'm talking to Jose Meza here. Are you in Skype, brother? The fallacy, I'm not counting the fallacy so far. We'll get to that at the end, Snowbirds. Or do you have to go? It's high. It is high. And yes. Jose. Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead and send me how can we do this? I don't want to give my information out over here, obviously. Go ahead and email me, man. Check out under any video, and there is an email. I don't answer those that go to the Hotmail address, but if you put something in there, I will answer you. How about that? Because I don't think you have my, maybe I emailed you before. Sorry about this, folks, but this is pretty important. I'd like for me to Jose, we've known each other for many years, and I don't want Discord to, you know, the fiasco that happened with Discord to separate us. Did I give you my phone? Yeah, my phone number's changed. Yeah, sorry about that. Like I said, just go into the, I know I'm going to get a lot of emails from knuckleheads, but go ahead and look under any video in the description box, and there is a PayPal email. It doesn't have anything. It has things to do with PayPal, but you don't have to PayPal, right? You can just message. Yeah, you got it. Yeah, please do that, and then I'll we'll hook up in Skype. Okay. All right. We ready to continue? And maybe I can put the right screen on. Sorry about that, folks. I wasn't even looking over that direction. It's getting long in the tooth, man. I'm starting to get a little tired. Like I said, you didn't have to see it anyway. All you had to do was hear it. But here we go.
points and we stick to whatever Anthony Riley came up with 2 years ago, and we're just going to stay with that no matter what.
Who cares what Anthony Riley came up with? What did he come up with 2 years ago? I don't talk about Anthony on the show. That's another stereotype fallacy. Got so many fallacies, my pen's running out of ink. Hold on a second. Going to have to go with a pencil.
So for me, I weigh options. That's why I was in the middle. One time I was on their side, looked at it. Bob's talking.
You weigh options. Well, if it was actual science, you wouldn't need to weigh any options. It's either a yes or no, black or white, 1 or a 0. No subjectivity into it. You don't even have to think about it. You might have to look at the experimental design and make sure that's kosher. But if the experimental design's good, that's right as the rain. So there you go. Little advice.
This, I'm like, I don't still agree with that until I saw some of the.
Don't agree. See, the agree and disagree are telltale signs of subjectivity. Science and natural science and the scientific method is the antithesis of subjectivity. Call it objectivity, empirical. You're in a category here.
Experiments Zach did, at which time I said,
Zach doesn't know what an experiment is. Zach wouldn't know what an experiment was if it landed on his face, spun around, giggled, then whistled Dixie. That's a fact.
oh, well, we
Neither do you.
can't deny that that's happening. So therefore, it makes sense to me that if anything set the down, it would be that.
Anything set the down. So the Van der Graaf generator sets the down direction? Really? Where's the Van der Graaf generators out there when I walk outside? Shit should be levitating, right? Did you follow that? If you're using the Van der Graaf generator as some sort of natural surrogate for what happens outside, then shouldn't shit be freaking floating around and levitating? You think? You follow that, right? Good God, man. Don't you get it?
So let me go here real quick and see if I've got this set up for. Oh, no.
Hey, that's me. Caught me when I was on there. You watching this stuff? When was this? I've only been on there once or, a couple times in the past 4 or 5 weeks.
I wanted to go to Wits It Gets It.
Wits It Gets It. The walking contradiction shits at 60. That's where you want to go. Oh, this is going to be a lot of fun.
Wit Sit Gets It. Just wanted to find this one part where, see here. Straw man, exactly.
Straw man, yeah, exactly. I have 15 straw man fallacies from you so far. Sir. Yeah, exactly.
Ether debate, this one here, I believe is where we're at. Let me bring up where it was. Give me 1 second.
Define it.
It's a force of attraction.
Define
and
force.
repellent.
I haven't watched this debate, folks, so I did see him go over this one time.
Everywhere in the world has light already. The Creator made the world in such a
Everywhere has light in the world already. That's profound. Next thing you're going to be telling us what a peanut butter sandwich is.
way where you can't even fully understand it without acknowledging the background, without acknowledging that there's more to it than the matter that you see.
Really? Like what?
On, because this is just, you're just subjectively lost. And I guess
Here we go again with winning and losing. Shit's at 60, winning and losing again. You just compromised yourself with your second grade playground ego. Right? You're a child. You have the mentality of a child. Science acumen of one, too. And an intellect of one also. I already showed that. See the last Ballbusters.
The point is, you're trying to say specific examples of naturally occurring observable phenomena. With bumblebees, with beetles.
What? Bumblebees. Did he say bumblebees?
There you go.
Works for, and it's even claimed they're not even really using a whole lot of electrostatics.
That is
Electrostatics. Walking contradiction, wits it, shits it 60. Define electrostatics. Once he does it, I need it with citation too, by the way. The ones I gave you. Once he does that, folks, the entire globe dumpsters implodes. Yep. Once he does that. So have him define electrostatics. And I want to ask everyone, what's the contradiction? If you can't see it, then you need to leave the community. Okay? Need to go back and start over at primary school. Pay attention this time as you go up through. You might want to drop anchor in a basic reasoning course every now and again. He will never define it, because once he does, he's going to define it here. Right? I'm going to stop it when he does. It's going to be hilarious.
Jack, you're just saying things.
You're just saying things. Yeah, well, that's what most people say, like words and shit. That's what they say.
Just say things. He's like all over the place.
And he confirms it. Yeah, well, you're just saying things. So is this idiot.
The worst.
They're too big. They're too heavy.
Okay, thanks for making my point. So electrostatics is weak, right?
Right.
So when something's
Electrostatics is, what is electrostatics? That's the $64,000 question. Gonna end you. You're already ended back there with all the other contradictions, but that one will end you. It's gonna end you here in a little bit.
too dense, it can't make it go up.
Like your phone.
That doesn't mean that it doesn't affect it at all. That's an ignorant claim. And secondly, you can't even claim density. Ryan, listen to this part right here. It's going to destroy.
See, why are we on density? Why are we even here? Because people are butthurt. That's why we're here. It's not because of the straw man reification fallacy. Science doesn't prove things, that's for sure. We're into another realm.
Destroy your whole argument. Listen, this one sentence. You can't even claim density at all without acknowledging electrostatics.
What's electrostatics?
Because it's there.
Because all matter is
Because it's there. Now, I'm going to need a little bit more than that.
held together by electrostatics. So it's
All matter. Did you hear that? All matter is, now he didn't define it, but he said all matter is held together by electrostatics. What's matter made up of? Atoms? You don't believe in atoms. You can't appeal to electrostatics, you numpty dipshit contradicting fuckwit. You get it now? Well, you're going to come out and say it here in a few minutes. You said matter here, but you're going to mindlessly parrot the citations I gave you.
How did you validate that?
Yeah, it's just such
It's
so
a
bad.
variable in why things go up or down.
Shut up.
okay. We can. Once we manipulate look, I can take a balloon and rub it on my head, and I can stick it.
We get a grown adult here. And I guess, I don't know, is this scientific evidence? He's rubbing balloons on his head and putting them up against the wall. And he thinks he's an intellectual. What's next? Bumblebees? I'm bringing home a baby bumblebee. Clowns.
Stick it to the wall.
Yeah.
Wow, that's amazing. What's a peanut butter and jelly sandwich?
Thanks for playing.
Thanks for playing. That's all he's got. That's it. It's like listening to friggin' Elmer Fudd at a metabolic pathway convention. That's what this is. This is jokes. Jokes.
Whether my phone is going to go up or down.
I can make things levitate with electrostatics, bro. It's just objective.
You can make things levitate with electrostatics, eh? Like to see that. We'd like you to define electrostatics first. That would be helpful. So everyone's on the same page.
Bumblebees do it. That's naturally occurring.
Bumblebees, balloons,
Beetles do it. Naturally occurring.
beetles, bombardier beetles,
Spider ballooning. Naturally
spider
occurring.
ballooning. Oh, you're bringing out the fingers and the numbers, right? Funny you're not explaining anything. I'm bringing home a baby bumblebee. Clown.
Bumblebees, they don't know. Bumblebees, right?
Bumblebees.
Right, bumblebees, I don't know what the claim is about them, right? Aerodynamic
The claim, he just said the claim.
What's the claim? Shut up. Stop color commentating on this thing and let us listen to these two.
they're supposedly a bit strange.
They can't
The
fly
spider
aerodynamically.
ballooning thing, the spider ballooning thing, right?
Right.
That when you read into that, it's not even only electrostatics that they're even claiming is the reason they're doing it.
Brian, ask him what electrostatics is.
And it only works for those spiders.
They've tested it, and it is electrostatics.
hang on,
doing.
I'm going to put you in timeout.
It only works for the spiders that are up to adolescence.
Right, because they're light.
OMG. Because they're light? Is that your argument? Light compared to what?
It's exactly the point. If they get too heavy, once something becomes too dense, it cannot do it.
It cannot do anything, thanks. Like I told you before, if your initial claim was true about, adjusting stuff and electricity sets the down direction, then that more dense thing, right, would have a more pronounced effect. Logic much.
Anymore. It's not going to be adjusted.
Non sequitur.
It doesn't work.
You don't even know what non sequitur is.
But
Pretty sad.
It isn't a non
Yeah,
sequitur
it is.
because if the spider grows beyond adolescence, they can't do it. That means it's such a
The itsy bitsy spider went up the water spout. Down came the rain. This is friggin' carnival tent, man.
small thing. How is it a variable?
Okay, so you're clear. Now you're appealing to the age of the spider, but here's the problem. Also, I'm just going to keep it productive, man.
I'm pointing out something that you obviously are overlooking.
No, the fact you said it doesn't happen when they get older doesn't matter. It doesn't matter at all.
This is claimed that they're too big, they're too heavy.
Yeah, that's exactly
thanks for
it.
making my point. So electrostatics
You ain't too heavy. Shut up.
is weak, right? And so when
It's
something's
so
too
bad.
dense,
It's like,
you
what
can't
is
make
going
it go
on
up.
here?
But that doesn't mean that it does.
I'll tell you what, man. I'm getting tired of this. Just sit there and shut the fuck up, right? If we need any snacks or any drinks or refreshments, we'll signal your slobber nurses and have you help them bring us some stuff over. Other than that, just sit down and shut the fuck up.
Doesn't affect it at all. That's an ignorant
I
claim.
think his new channel name should
Oh
be
my
Brian's
God.
Lack of.
And
Logic.
secondly, you
His new channel name should be Brian's Lack of. That's an ad hominem. Why? After we're done here with the summary, people in glass houses, brother. My word, unbelievable you'd say that. Got it.
you can't even
I'm not
claim
stating
density.
it goes
Brian,
up
listen to this
and
part
stuff.
right here. It's going to
I
destroy
mean, these guys can't even listen. And then I was trying to find where Nathan.
Wait, these guys can't even listen? Is there more guys than this guy here? Do you think this is a guy? This is a punching bag. What's metaphorically happened to you? You said guys. Do you see other guys here? Scary, dude.
Nathan talked about me today. I couldn't find it, but I did hear.
Why are you on to Nathan talking about you today? And why are you continuing to look up at the Three Stooges marathon. This is friggin' scary, man.
Hear Nathan say, he's like, oh, these guys get mad at me for using the mute button, which is because Austin went in there to talk to them. Instead, Nathan just muted him and called him.
What? Just muted him? No, he didn't. That's a damn lie. If that's all that Nathan did was just mute him, then where did I get all these comments from? All these comments. If Witsit was muted, where'd they come from? Huh? So you're lying again. That's number 2 lie. Right? If he just muted him, then I wouldn't been able to got all these complete thoughts. Number of them in a row. Right? So this is just hyperbolic gibberish. He's just making shit up. Per usual.
A bunch of names and told him to lick his balls. But the problem with that is that Austin was never able to get across his point. He was never able to talk.
Oh, he was never able to talk. Really? Then I wouldn't have got all those quotes from him if that was true. It's all over for you. Right there, you're done. Looking up to the left again, too, huh? How's Mo doing?
So then you listen to Nathan today, and he's like, oh, well, the reason I have to use the mute button is because I'm not going to let these guys come in here and just gish gallop. And they're, no, but can you let people get across their point? Nobody's asking you.
He got across his point. We already went over it, right? Remember the point? We ain't going to go over all of them. It would take a couple hours. Just look at the last BALLBUSTERS, right? We let him make his point. Remember, this was his point. Shit's at 60. The main point. Ether is coming out. Guns a-blazing. We have electromagnetic waves, that's light in a vacuum. We can show and it either has a medium, that's ether, that it's waving through, or it's waving through nothing, which is an asinine claim. 10 days later, he then smashed himself in the face with a spade shovel and said light is not a particle or a wave. Those are complete thoughts. I typed them out. They're recorded. How did I do that if he was muted? It's over. You're done. You were done like 1 minute into this 2 hours ago.
To let people just talk nonsense. But if Witsit was in there for like an hour.
Yeah, that's nonsense. He just contradicted himself. The definition of nonsense. He did it about 30 times. Some in the next breath.
Hour and a half. You guys called him a bunch of names and never let him talk.
There he goes again. That's 1, 2, 3. You already stated that 3 times, so each incident is a lie in itself. 1, 2, 3. You mentioned it 3 times. Thanks. Any more?
So that explain why you use the mute button in that case,
because he was stating nonsense, contradictions. That's why, up and to the left.
The only thing it looks like is you mute people because you're wrong.
Is that what it looks like? How'd you come up with that? Based on your previous premise that was proved faulty. So it's just nonsense. Just hyperbolic drivel.
So if I was doing debates with people and I just muted them the whole time and just said my piece and said my piece.
I'm going to tell you, I told you to shut up. But I can't do that. I got to let you friggin' drone on.
And said my piece, but never let them talk. Then would it be surprising that people would think that person was stupid and think I was smart? Because I'm not even letting them get their point across.
Who
so
cares?
It's pretty sad that these guys can't just.
You're sad. Up and to the left. Got him again. Unbelievable.
Especially to other flat earthers. You're going to mute other flat earthers?
Yes. Everyone gets treated the same. If you come out with nonsense, you will get muted. We're not listening to droned on monologues based on a contradiction or logical fallacies. We're going to stop you. Right? That makes sense? Yeah? You confused?
Because you think that your position is right, and your position is simply that
No, we're not saying our position is right. We just identified contradictions or a logical fallacy. Then they get stopped in their tracks for clarification. It usually doesn't end well after that because the Baltard's arguments are all based on logical fallacy and dipshittery. He's not that far away. His are based on contradictions. I just showed you. How many more you want me to show you? We can go on here for hours. Or just go look at BALLBUSTERS and you can identify them. All the ones he said while he was muted.
there can be no ether. I mean, do they really?
There can be no ether. That is another logical fallacy. That is the fallacy of proving non-existence. That's a oneer right there. No, it's Doofus's job right here because he's making the claim, the positive claim. He has to provide the evidence, and he didn't do it. He contradicted himself. I don't even know why Nathan allowed him to go on past 5 minutes.
Realize that that's arguing the globe point. I think these guys.
It's not a globe point. Up and to the left. Is the globe up there or something? Scary, dude.
Actually think that the ether has something to do with Einstein, and they don't understand the story.
Yeah, the ether does have something to do with Einstein. Oh my. Hold on a second, folks. So he said that these guys think that the ether has something to do with Einstein, right? There it is. So we think that the ether has something to do with Einstein. I think I went past it. Oh, maybe not. Oh, here it is. All right. So these guys think the ether has something to do with Einstein. Okie dokie. Albert Einstein, 1920. Oh, by the way, Albert Einstein, this is from his own hand. Ether and the theory of relativity. Yeah, I'm thinking that we're thinking that he does have something to do with it. Let's see. Albert Einstein, 1920. We may say that according to the general theory of relativity, space is endowed with physical qualities. In this sense, therefore, there exists an ether. Yep, I'm thinking that we think it has something to do with Einstein. Yes. Yep, it does. According to the general theory of relativity, space without ether is unthinkable. Yep, it most assuredly does. You're just making shit up, aren't you? That's what happens when you make shit up. You get compromised in less than a Planck time. Well, that was a few seconds. I had to find it.
Story behind it.
Your whole argument, listen, this one sentence. You can't even claim density at all without acknowledging electrostatics because all matter is held together.
There he goes again. All matter is held together by electrostatics. Is he an atomist? We're going to find out here in a minute.
Together by electrostatics.
How
So
did
it's
how did you validate that?
we can test every material that exists, and it can transfer electrostatics. It is the only cause. That's what Sleeping Warrior's claiming. That's what Nathan Oakley's claiming. It has been objectively, intellectually eviscerated. You can deny it if you want to. I laid it out. Everything that is all matter that exists is electrostatic. We can manipulate that variable to make things go up and down. Now you're just saying we don't find Van.
We can manipulate that variable to make things that go up and down. You can manipulate the electrostatics of atoms and molecules. I want to see that. Next show, I want you to show. First off, we want you to define electrostatics with citation. So you don't make shit up. Then you're done. You're finished. It's coming up here in a few seconds.
Van der Graafs in the nature. Okay, you.
Yeah, there are no Van der Graafs in the nature. Yes, that's correct. right? If you're trying to use it as a surrogate, then when I walk outside, I should see shit levitating, but we don't. You get it, numpty dipshit?
You lost. And we can go back to the ether.
Here
though.
we go
so
with the
stupid.
you lost. We're on a second grade playground, folks, with these bozos. They don't realize that they've already train wrecked themselves. They train wrecked themselves with that simple statement. Sides and you lost or you won or we won or somebody won, right? We all know it. God, man.
I mean, the lines that the flat earth debate, they used to be great, but now the direction they're going is like, what?
The lines over flat earth debate used to be good, and then the direction they're going is like, what? What's what? For example, another baseless assertion fallacy. Wow, dude.
So now they say like, oh, we can't use these man-made devices. Everything is man-made. How are you measuring?
No one ever said that. That's a straw man fallacy. 1 second. No one has ever said on FED that you can't use a man-made device. No one would ever say that. Now, back in the day, like 5 years ago, one of the Flat Earth debate members had a problem with this. He had a problem with thermometers, right? But that was way back there 5 years ago, right? Until I set him straight. Now, it took a little time, but he finally got it. Now, we don't say that. Every single experiment has a man-made device in it. So this is another straw man of yours based out of ignorance. Right? Can't do experiments without man-made devices. That's not our position. You don't know our position. That's why you straw man it. The natural phenomena, that is the dependent variable or the effect, has to be natural. That's our position. Right? It's very easy. The dependent variable or the natural phenomena observed or the effect has to be natural. If it isn't, if it's man-made, then guess what happens every single time you fix the hypothesis with a cause of a man-made object? Guess what the cause of every single man-made object is, Jeran? It's man. Goodness gracious.
Measuring anything. How do you expect people to measure radius if they can't use a man-made device?
Straw man. It's the same straw man, but he used it again. So each incidence. There it is. I should just look at the longest one.
Well, rulers are man-made.
Yep.
Thermometers are man-made.
Oh, God, he goes to thermometers. Unbelievable. Yep, thermometers are man-made. This is profound. Thanks. Let me mark these two down. I've missed a few.
Okay, so if we can't even use man-made devices to determine
Another one.
things, what are we doing?
But who knows what you're doing?
Now, I'll agree with you that if it's a man-made device with an electrical component, like I just discount the entire ring laser gyro, I discount the entire fiber optic gyro because I don't know the mechanisms going on inside, right? So it means just because you put it
Okay.
down and then, oh, look at this magic box and it comes out with an answer. To me, I need to know exactly what formulas are going on, what mathematics are.
What formulas are going on? With what? Is there any formulas going on with my toaster? What the hell are you talking about? Like you'd understand them anyway.
Are going on, what computing is going on before I'm going to call that proof of anything. So in that case, I do understand. But when you're talking about an interferometer used by Michaelson Morley, get this.
Interferometry? You understand that? Yeah, right.
These guys are flat earthers at the flat earth debate, supposedly. They argue against the Michaelson Morley
These guys are flat earthers, supposedly. What kind of innuendo fallacy is that shit? My word. Let me find innuendo fallacy. There you go. I'll give you supposedly.
Experiment, calling it a parlor trick.
Oh, wait a second.
What are you talking about? An interferometer used by Michaelson Morley. Get this. These guys are flat earthers at the flat earth debate, supposedly. They argue against the Michaelson Morley experiment, calling
Michaelson Morley is not an experiment. You don't know what an experiment is. That's why you still call it Michaelson Morley experiment. You don't get out very much, do you? The other brain dead children have stopped saying that word experiment because they've got their asses handed to them quite a number of times in the past 3 years. Wasn't an experiment. So in your next live show, you said Michaelson Morley experiment. We're going to need the hypothesis for that. All right? And then we're going to need the hypothesis. We're going to need the experiment after that. And all the things that are included in each, the hypothesis and experiment. I'm not going to tell you what they are. You have to go find out what they are and what you need. And we want you to post that on your live show to demonstrate that it is an experiment or it's just another baseless assertion. That one's getting long, too, because you didn't do it here.
Calling it a parlor trick. What are you talking about?
We're talking about that it's not an experiment. That's what we're talking about.
Do you not understand that Michaelson Morley, if it wasn't for that experiment, how the entire...
It's not an experiment. That's two more.
Nature of the world would be different. What I mean is...
The entire nature of the world would be different without the Michaelson Morley non-experiment. Really? Oh, boy. That's why we love you. Your excruciating attention to meticulous detail. OCD-like.
Is where we are today or where science had to go. And
Science had to go. Science doesn't go anywhere. That is another reification fallacy.
the directions they went is all because of that experiment, because they expected one thing.
It wasn't an experiment.
Which would be to clearly tell that the Earth was flying through space, and they didn't get it. They didn't get it. So when you argue against it, calling it a parlor trick, it's not a parlor trick, especially it didn't even have like a computer back then. Basically, they were...
It didn't even have a computer back then. What does that mean? Up and to the left. Still. Sorry, I didn't catch all of them.
Shooting light off these mirrors on, and then saying, look, if we rotate it due to the Sagnac effect, that one light will get there later than the other one. Well,
whoa. One light will get there later than the other one. That means it's traveling and has speed. This numpty dipshit said that light doesn't travel and it doesn't have a speed. You need to have a meeting. I'm not going to show it to you. I'm not going to waste my time showing it to you anymore. You guys need to have a meeting and start to get your story straight, because this is a belly laugher. Everyone heard what he said and what you just said. Carnival tent, folks. Carnival tent.
When they did that, they got a speed of about...
There we go. Speed. There's no speed according to him.
15 degrees or so an hour.
That's not a speed. 15 degrees is not a speed. It has degrees in it. Speed is miles per hour. It's a rate per hour or rate per unit time, not degrees. My word.
Now, the reason for that is because the sky's moving, but they expected to get the amount of speed that the Earth was going around the sun, 66,000 miles.
Who really cares? It's not an experiment.
Per hour. They didn't get that. They got about 1,400 miles per hour or something like that.
Let's go back to the ether, because
that's
what this is about.
Let's go back to the ether. Yeah. What's that, by the way? What or what I should say? What is it this week?
Yeah, we'll go back in a second. So You're claiming that electrostatics are part of the reason why things go up or down, right? That means they're adding, right? So that means there must be some electrostatic.
No, it's sets. I thought you said electricity sets, not electrostatics. Do you know what static means? Do you know what electricity? I'm not going to tell you because that's one of your terms you have to define. Maybe you'll get it then. I doubt it. Maybe one of your slobber nurses will tell you.
Some electrostatic effect on everything.
Yes.
Being the reason why it goes up or down.
Yes.
There has to be.
Yes.
Shut up.
In accordance with your claim.
Okay.
Wait, say again?
You're claiming that electrostatics are integral to why.
I tell you what, you're going to get on my last nerve.
To the vector or directionality of matter.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know why?
Why?
Go on.
Because all matter is electrostatic. So whether it goes up.
Here we go again. All matter is electrostatics. That doesn't prove your claim that you just made. Stating what something is. You just stated what it is, not what it does. Basically. And you don't know what electrostatics is. He definitely doesn't. You think you do, which is even more scary.
You haven't validated your claim. This is the problem.
What? Exactly.
This is where the disconnect is between us and you.
Yeah, rub your eyes.
You keep making the claim.
An appeal to the Lord and Savior. He's not going to save you. Walking contradiction. He's not going to save you. I'm going to tell you that now. You're going to splurt it out here in a couple. Hopefully it'll get here, folks. I can't remember when it is.
Right? And this is going on for a good while now because we debated about this the last time. That electrostatics.
Let's see if we can figure out, because this has been going on a long time. Here's the problem with it, though. When one side is going to get proven to be wrong, which is
it's going back to sides again,
appears it's happening, is they cannot say that they're incorrect because they're flat earth debates.
They cannot say that they're. That's a stereotype fallacy. And a baseless assertion. Which usually follows it. Remember I told you it's the gateway fallacy?
And flat earth debates is always right. They cannot be wrong. So they...
No one said that. Flat earth debates cannot be right. That flat earth debates. That's more like that's a reification fallacy. Can't be right. In fact, that's a pathetic fallacy because only humans can be right or wrong or know that they're right or wrong. Remember, a pathetic fallacy falls under a reification. I'm not going to give you a twofer. I'm just going to give you a pathetic fallacy.
They will just double down, triple down, quadruple down, and keep...
They will just... That's another stereotype fallacy. Double down, triple down, quadruple down. For example, up and to the left. Up and to the left. Can you give at least an example? No.
Trying to fight their way out of a box, calling people names, muting them, making fun of me for...
We already went over the calling names things. Those are ad hominems. We don't do that. We're doing the same thing we're doing now with you. We're making conclusionary performance assessments. Like when people finally tell us that planes fly backwards, yes, we call them retarded. That's not an ad hom. You don't know what an ad hom is. An ad hom fallacy is name calling or attacking a person's character in lieu of an argument. We just provided the argument, or they did it for us. Planes flying backwards. What do you expect us to do? Apologize to them?
For saying science can't be prove things. They're just going to keep going this.
Oh, here we go with science proves. We're back on that again. That is another straw man and reification fallacy.
Direction, and they've got a following. Some people will follow that, even though it's ludicrous, and clearly they've
Cause
hit a
this.
wall.
Great. Show how they cause it. Do the
Okay,
experiment.
go argue
We just did. We
with
already done
QE
that.
about it.
Go argue with QE about it. Here we go. Hold on. What time is it? 25. Get close. That'll do it.
And clearly they've
Cause
hit a
this.
wall.
Great. Show how they cause it. Do the
Okay,
experiment.
go argue
We just did. We
with
already done
QE
that.
about it. I don't want to argue
Give me
it
that.
anymore. Look, what I'm saying is objective. Now listen carefully. You can prove that all matter has a charge.
Okay.
All of it.
Really? All matter, that's false. That is false. The majority of atoms and molecules have a net charge of friggin' 0. Now, cations and anions, they have charge. There, buddy. Unbelievable.
Now, if you want to keep denying that, go for it. I asked you, okay, look, I'm making a huge claim. I'm claiming that all matter. All you have to do is invoke one single thing in all of existence that is matter that doesn't have a charge, and then you refute my point. All you have
I just did that.
to do is bring up one thing. Now, I've tried to go find those things. Rubber, glass,
You keep talking. He keeps
insulators,
talking
they're all
over it.
electrostatic.
That's a reversal.
They're all electrostatic, yes, but not all of them have charge. A lot of them have a net charge of 0. I don't know when he's going to get to this. Is getting painful, man. I hope it's coming up shortly.
Of the burden of proof. You're the one making the claim. So
No,
it's
see, he
not-
doesn't even understand. He just they say these like claims.
Shut up. There's no they here. There's just one. No they. There's not multiple Brians here, okay? My word.
Claims like that's a
Stereotype fallacy. And dilute. Is there a delusionary fallacy? Hold on a second, folks. All right.
reversal of the burden of proof. No, what he's telling you is
It's shifting the burden of proof.
he said all items are electrostatic, and then he told you if you want to disprove that to go find one item, and you're like, that's a reversal of the burden of proof. So you're telling me that it's Austin's job to prove to you that
No, it's not that all items are electrostatic. It's what they're doing. Not the existence of, but what their actions are. You're not too quick on the uptake, are you?
every item is electrostatic? What's he supposed to do? Go get one of every single item in
No, this is an incoherent straw man.
the world? What's easier, that or you finding one item to disprove him? So they can't even get, they're just like making.
They can't even get, again, is there, you must be seeing more than one, right? To say they. My word.
They just say words.
To me,
They just say words. Yeah, that's what most people do. They say words. Sometimes in complete sentences, which you have a problem with. He's saying words. My God.
it's not to me that disprove the claim you're making.
Okay, I prove it by showing you all matter. So this debit card right here is matter. This is matter. Rubber is electrostatic.
Wow, this is profound.
Also, glass, electrostatic. You can prove it.
Wow.
You can prove it. It has a
Yep.
charge. You can prove it. So why are you arguing it? It doesn't
Brian,
even
what are we
make any sense.
arguing?
That's why I want to
Because
get
you're
back
making
over
a
to the other
claim that
conversation.
it's
This is you objectively lost, Brian. It's objective.
Here we go with the lost, objectively lost. Do you know what objective means? I know he doesn't. to you. And there we go with the lost again. We're on the second grade playground, folks. With inflated Dunning-Kruger egos.
So you're making a claim that it's connected to the vector directionality of matter.
That's the claim. See what it does, not what it is. So try and keep up. Okay? My God.
Because we can manipulate that and then change its vector.
Right.
But you can't.
You can manipulate what? What are you manipulating? Didn't get that.
You can put something into a Van de Graaff generator, which is outside the natural world.
Yeah, it's outside the natural world, but what does that mean? That we can only use things?
No, it doesn't. That's not what it means, clown show. I already explained this to you. Right? Why would we need, if you're using it as a surrogate for the natural world, then if I step outside, I should see shit levitating. It's real fucking easy. Okay? So take that stupid look off your face and think for your change, for a change on your feet.
Things in the natural world to test things? What is that talking? So
Shut up.
Temperature is gone. There's no
temperatures. There he goes again, off on his temperature horse shit. Shut up. I can't shut him up, folks.
such thing as temperature anymore.
Oh,
how are you going to measure the
God.
temperature of something if we can't use?
Okay, these. Okay.
Use something outside the natural world. Where do you get temperature from? Do we just throw a tree inside the water and then the tree reads back the temperature or something? I don't really know.
Yeah, that's what we do. You're delusional. You need to be institutionalized.
How we're supposed
So
to
you're
do
saying
anything.
we can't do any experiments with man-made devices?
Okay, listen to the chocolate, Jose, Miggy. Did you hear what this asshole just said? How many times has he been in the hangout where a baller would come in and pull this same shit, and I just systematically tear him to shreds with Witsit being in the same hangout? How many times? And he has the gall to say this shit about man-made devices. You can't have experiments. I'm putting it to you. What say you? Fraud.
No, none.
It's not. That's not what I'm saying.
Oh, you're not saying.
Right?
Okay,
You
good.
don't have a natural phenomenon.
What do you got? Some rapid eye movement going? Got a little Tourette's going on? Yeah, your little monologue, friggin' monotone monologue is coming up. You know, the rapid fire one? That's coming up here shortly. And that's where you're going to give up the ghost. I can't wait. Right? Where you just drone on with a bunch of baseless assertions. It's coming.
You have iron filings and hairs in a Van de Graaff generator, and when you turn it on and you mess with it, it causes them to levitate a bit.
Yes.
But in reality, we don't see that.
What?
Yeah, we
We're not
do.
seeing
I
that.
just now
So
gave you
there's no natural phenomenon.
I mean, it's just
whatsoever.
it's sad that this is what it's devolved to.
Oh, boy.
Because you think as flat earthers we would like.
Here comes the coherent color commentary from the peanut gallery.
Refine our arguments. Okay, you're right. You're making sense. Yeah, that does make sense. Let me change the way I say it. Not just stand and in dogma.
You don't know what dogma is. Who stands in dogma? Is that what you're charging us with? Another baseless assertion.
And be like, no, this is because
Be like, no. Provide an example. You can't because you're just making shit up.
we've already said no. We're not going to see the truth of this matter.
Truth of what matter? You don't even know what they're talking about, for fuck's sake.
Trying to find where he brings up my.
Yeah, so your claim,
Super
therefore,
chat, but I
is
can't find
that
it.
you can't do any type of science if you have to use a man-made device. Well,
That's
I'm going to
not
come
what
up
I'm
over
saying.
here.
You
You hear that,
That's
Miggy?
ridiculous.
Did you hear that, Miggy? Chocolate. Jose, did you hear what he just said? That our claim is we can't do any science without a man-made device. That's what he said. Can you believe that? Tell you what, son. I'll leave it go.
Straw man, straw man.
That is what you're saying.
Didn't say it.
Okay.
See,
Make that go up. You would have to invoke an unnatural situation.
Hold on, let me see.
In the
what it
media,
said.
Objectively, everything that falls down is electrostatic
Here
acceleration.
we go. Here comes the rapid fire monologue, right? Let's get this. Hopefully the gold's in here that we can finish this up because I'm getting fucking sick of it. 520. Here we go.
Objectively, everything that falls down is electrostatic acceleration because all matter is electrostatic.
It's becoming quite obvious that all it is just word salad.
Shut up!
And so when you go watch the debate channel over there, which, hey, I used to watch it every day. Then it kind of got to about once a week. Then it got to like once a month. Now I don't watch it anymore. But
why? Okay, that's lovely. Why? Provide the evidence. Provide the proof.
mostly because a lot of their arguments got repetitive. And
well, the reason why our arguments get repetitive is because we have the same clowns that come in that make their same arguments. So what do you want us to do? Give different arguments for their same arguments? That wouldn't kind of make sense, would it? So what arguments are you specifically talking about? Right? Repetitive. What the hell does that mean?
And also, I saw them take positions and then just stay there.
I saw them take positions and then just stay there, up and to the left. Up and to the left. Really? Like what, for example?
And then when anybody came in with anything different.
Oh, God. And then when anybody came in with what?
To say, they would just mute them and call them names and get rid of them. So it's like,
oh, really? Provide an example where it's a baseless assertion. Another one. Boy, this one's getting long.
okay, well, then you're just going to basically toot each other's horns all day here.
Static.
Oh, God.
All molecular and intermolecular attractive force are electrostatic.
Oh, go. See, did you hear that? All molecular and intermolecular forces are electrostatic. Can you say it any faster? Let me ask you something, Crayon Muncher. By the way, you wouldn't have said that without me giving you the citations that state that. Right? Number one. You said all molecular and intermolecular forces are electrostatic in nature. What are molecules made of? Shitsit 60? Are they made of atoms? Yes? You don't believe in atoms. You can't appeal to electrostatics, you dumb fuck. The contradiction of contradiction, folks. That's it. He's finished. Well, he was finished a long time ago, right? You catch that, guys? You want to hear it again? It's hard to hear because it's like at 87,000 miles an hour, you know, with his monotone horse shit. Let's hear it.
Because a lot of their arguments got repetitive, and also I saw them take positions and then just stay there. And then when anybody came in with anything different to say, they would just mute them and call them names and get rid of them. So it's like, okay, well, then you're just going to basically toot each other's horns all day here.
Static. All molecular and intermolecular attractive force are electrostatic in nature.
There it is. Game, set, match. So the walking contradiction. Shits at 60 lives up to his name yet again. Like I said, by the way, he wouldn't have known that if I didn't give it to him. I gave it to him so he can hand ballers their asses. But guess what? It just handed you your ass in spades. Listen, folks, I'm just about done. This has been going on for way too long. Let me check out there on you. My word. Yeah, it's been too long. I'll tell you what, that chat went about 1,000,000 miles an hour, man. I've never seen a chat move that fast. Hey, for all you guys that give me super chats, I appreciate that. Thank you very much. Say thank you for inventing the scientific method, Huey. Yeah, right. It's too funny. Yeah, I think that's just about it, dudes. I'm tired. Yeah, we've been going on for much longer. I do have to give the results. 1 second. Let's see what we got here. The number of fallacies. Well, we'll go with the type of fallacies. We got a number of different types. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 different fallacies. He's celebrating a healthy chunk of the logical fallacy catalog. The number of fallacies. Anybody got a guess? Number of logical fallacies that he used during that presentation. You know I missed some. Anybody got a number out there? Take a healthy guess. 103. How long was he going on? I think I started... Did I write down the time? I started at 30 minutes, 42 seconds. There's the time. $103 fallacies, folks. I don't know what to say. So the next time you go live, make sure you get those terms that I identified. I mean, it's reasonable if you're going to claim something about, certain terms, then you got to know what they are. So you have to define them. You're finished. I don't think you should show up, but you will anyway because you're that stupid. But you need to define some terms. Get your act together. Oh, sorry. This guy, he's finished. Yeah, he's finished just a few minutes ago. Well, like I said, he was finished back with the other contradictions. So let's call that a wrap for tonight. I think we went long enough. And I'm bushed. Like I said, sorry, I've been out of the net for a while. I had to take care of a lot of stuff. I haven't got it all squared away, but it's getting close. So like I said, my attention, my glare is diverting a little bit over in this direction. I apologize if I've been emotionally unavailable. That's all I got, folks. I really don't know what else to say about this. I mean, there's not too much to say. Lord help us. Hopefully we'll get back to BALLBUSTERS this Saturday. We'll have to see about that. I'll get with the guys. We have some issues, technical issues to work through, and we'll see how that goes. Okay? Well, thanks for coming. I only had 3 when I started. Well, actually 0 for the first 5 minutes. Appreciate you coming. Hope you got a lot out of it. We'll just use this as a more or less a numpty canvas to paint my Rembrandt. This is a good educational tool, if nothing else. Learned about logical fallacies, how they employ them. Not they, but you know how logical fallacies are employed. You learn a little bit about, if you didn't know what natural science was, you definitely got a refresher course. You see how that goes? So there is some benefit to this. So, thanks, guys. We'll catch you on the flip side. Out.
Just let them speak.
You can demonstrate. You can prove it. When you manipulate heat, water boils.
Science can't prove things. Science cannot prove anything. How would it ever do that? Think about it. If no matter what you try and prove, and these guys, I heard them say the other day, oh, science proof is that the water boils at 100 degrees. That's not proof of anything. I wanted to go to gets it.
You can demonstrate. You can prove it. When you manipulate heat, water boils.
Science proof is that the water boils at 100 degrees. That's not proof of anything. Gets it.
You can demonstrate. You can prove it. When you manipulate heat, water boils.
Science can't prove things. Now listen carefully.
I think you can find a scientifically valid method that can validate the ether, but it doesn't exist. I think you can find a scientifically valid method that can validate the ether, but it doesn't exist.
What the hell did you just say?
I think you can find a scientifically valid method that can validate the ether, but it doesn't exist. I think you can find a scientifically valid method that can validate the ether, but it doesn't exist.
Are you serious?
Now listen carefully.
What science has known for, hundreds of years, and that is the existence of the ether.
Science cannot prove anything. How would it ever do that?
Experiments prove that the ether is actually there.
Science cannot prove anything. How would it ever do that?
Experiments prove that the ether is actually there.
That's how you know you're being scammed.
Prove that the ether.
You know science doesn't prove anything, right?
On the subject of apologies, there's only one apology, and that's to Nathan for calling him a scammer. The rest, it's fair game. Even calling me a flat Earth homo, it's fair enough. I've been called worse. You know what I mean? I'm not bothered about it. The only apology due is that, because that's the thing that's out of order. It's dishonest, and he knows it.
He won't be able to do it. You can't retract that now. You hear that, jabroni? That's your pride fucking with you, you Dunning-Kruger muppet. How's that hypothesis working out for you? You don't even know what one is, do you? Yeah, we heard it. Tacitly, you're fucking clueless. Thanks.